completed a long rest?
You are no,
No.
not yet. So those who are conscious arrive back at the watch house with.
I talk in my sleep.
Oh, excellent, very good. Just to make sure, yes.
I mutter about woven threads of fate.
Yes.
And
Oh, she must enjoy knitting then.
It's a he. You've just done.
He must enjoy knitting.
I'm getting back to Viderick.
I can just imagine Scrapper just at the end of the bed, thinking what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And being very much tail up. Do not touch her. He's very protective.
So yes, Constables Desire and Kimberly will head back. Constables Desire and Kimberly will head back off to Dolly Tub Watch House to make a report of what's happened. Acting Sergeant Angel takes the prisoners in and locks them up. And it seems that the procedure is all properly administered there. Certainly appears to be that way.
I imagine that Yvette would be reading through the book because you went through it.
Yeah, I did read through
You read through it.
portion of it. I don't know whether I read through. Again, I seem to be a not massively intelligent character.
Is that statistically true, or is that?
Yeah, yeah, 9.
That is statistically true. Yeah.
Which is
You're wise, though.
massively better than my charisma.
Yeah, it's true. But you're wise, though, aren't you?
She's wise, yeah.
To be clear, these characters were rolled for, so you know that's yeah.
way
And the
it
station cat wanders in. Hello, Rosie. He does seem to go through all the motions correctly. Locks them up. Turns to the rest of you who are still awake, still in the land of the conscious. Says, right, well, this has been a bit of a turn up for the books, but you better get yourself back out and watch until your duty is over. And sort of hustles you out of the door.
What about those of us who are unconscious?
Oh, but they've been put.
We're in bed.
They're resting.
We're in bed.
Cool.
So is it just me and Ada who go out?
I was going to say, you suggesting that we go on patrol at half strength?
As is your duty, yes.
I presume Yaz is watching over us.
Mm-hmm. No, you'll have you'll have Mindatis with you in spirit, if not in body.
Well, you could avoid the areas with the crime.
That's an excellent way of policing. I agree. Thank you.
Sorry.
Or if we pick up the patrol where we left off, leave no stone unturned, and all that.
It will be fine.
No, you have to stay here, Scrapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Off you go then.
Right. Let's go then.
So you head out into the dark streets, and there's actually just the slightest sliver of light on the horizon, and dawn is not that far away now. And you sort of proceed down back away from the familiar road running alongside the canal, away from the watch house, and nothing seems to be stirring in the streets at this time, the wee hours of the morning. There's certainly no attempts made on your life. No more attempts made on your life.
That's a relief.
Which is good. And the rest of the watch passes in sort of tense quietness, shall we say. You certainly don't feel comfortable on the streets together, just as a pair. But you do manage to complete your watch and return to the watch house without any further incident.
I imagine the exploding gnome is probably
becoming known.
Yeah, striking fear into the hearts of everybody.
I don't explode.
You explode other things. You instigate.
I instigate nothing.
As you wander back towards...
I use appropriate force.
You use discretionary measures.
Yes.
Discretionary force.
Is that what we're talking about on the watch? Like, like, these are the words that come up in the book. Use these words.
use of fire is a barrier. I think is a perfectly good measure to avoid direct conflict.
Great crowd
Correct.
control.
Crowd
Yeah,
control.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, rather than throwing CS gas, you throw
Alchemist fire.
alchemist fire. No. So you proceed back towards the watch house, and as you do, by this point, shutters are beginning to be thrown open, and fires have been lit, and breakfast is beginning to cook for various people. You get back to the watch house, and you come in to find Angel talking to a sort of very, very thin, red-headed man in a sort of cheap, mottled tweed suit, and they both turn to look at you. I said, these are Angel immediately said, these are my brave young constables, my brave young probationers, coming off their watch. I told you they would be back on time. This here is Detective Sergeant Jameson, who is here to look into the assault on poor old Richard Trevelyan that you discovered early in your watch yesterday. He's come to conduct some investigations. And Jameson sort of raises a hand and with a sort of completely expressionless face, doesn't really emote at all. Says, hello, pleased to meet you. Best that you know my face so you don't bump into me, find me doing my job perhaps and consider me to be up to no good. I'll be operating the area for a time trying to discover exactly what's been going on. And yeah, you're welcome to say anything you like in reply to that if you wish to.
That does not say a word.
No, okay.
I don't try a word.
You don't say a word.
I'm tired by this point.
Yeah. That's completely fair. An Angel sort of recognises this and sort of, well, off you go. And he sort of nods in the direction that you're
I assume by now I'm awake because a long rest for me is 4 hours.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you can pop up awake.
I will be on my bed, crouched on my haunches, with my spread of papers and my string.
Try to kill us. So this connects to this.
I presume I'm fast asleep still.
Yeah, you're a pony human, so you.
Well, yeah.
And every so often, just like feed Scrapper.
Yeah, you've got
Something.
Ivar's snores in the background to.
Pet the dog.
Yeah. So you guys come up to find Videric in the usual position, crouched on the
standard.
bed, doing
In a pile of
papers
confused
and red string.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's comfortable though? Hey, let me just tie your papers up. You can't work anything out in this mess.
Do we have
You
a
can-
copy of the police
You
manual?
could certainly get a copy of the manual. There's one in the station you could borrow and read at your leisure. That's not there.
That wants to read it.
So you need to pop downstairs and get it. You're more than welcome
Yeah.
to do so.
So yeah. She will.
An Angel sort of, you'd need to probably. You can walk into Angel's office and take it. That's not a problem. But you might want to ask.
Did
him
we?
first.
We
Yeah.
didn't.
So
We didn't.
I just walked down
Yeah.
and like, can I?
Oh.
And
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely. Then he hands it over.
take it.
No problem. I'm sorry, the food's still not coming. It's still a little bit on the thin side, I'm afraid. But that's
just like it's no problem.
don't
yeah.
even
Yeah.
As little engagement as possible with Angel. Yeah, that's fine.
By the time you get back up, it's immaculate. But I'm practicing with my tonfas because I've had my long rest.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to go.
Okay.
I want to read about disturbing the peace. Practicing.
Arson.
No, not arson. Disturbing the peace. Practicing arts in public spaces. Noise pollution, perhaps.
Yeah. I get you. What was that the other? Let's have a look in here. For anyone, if this finally works, and anyone is listening, using Sir Howard Vincent's Police Code of 1889 as the basis for the law of this place. So let's see what
But those are.
the time of Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
He was 1888.
Good old journalists.
Yeah.
As the actual note that had that
the
written on was
letter,
written
the
by
letter
the
with the
journalist.
name was from a journalist. Yeah.
It does not work for the tonight.
I believe that would come under nuisances in the street. In the streets. That would come under the umbrella term of nuisances in the streets.
Cool.
Sure was last weekend.
So you wanted to know what you would do with such a person if they were causing a...
Yeah, like. Well, what she's specifically looking for is how can she get as close to the barracks of those guys who nearly ran us over and practice with the bagpipes without actually breaking any law,
Okay.
is what she's
Okay.
trying to work out. She's been a soldier. She knows how it goes.
You think you'd probably be okay doing it fairly close, provided it was after 8 a.m. or before around the...
Is there
10
any
PM.
religious exclusion? Because like church bells can ring at any time.
Not for this particular
Not for dwarf
instance.
bagpipe playing.
Just to give me an idea, so if you wanted to play an instrument in the street, you would be fully entitled to do so. You might be asked to desist if it could be shown you were causing a nuisance, but that would be subjective. That would be to be proved. So you could certainly do it for a bit, and then get warned. You wouldn't immediately be arrested, even if it's seen as a problem. You could do it for a bit, and not have a problem.
Okay. And then
So you want to go and
not
annoy
right
the
now.
horse guard?
Not right now. The next thing she wants to do is to go and see how many kind of dwarven residents or how many dwarven residents, how many, like, if there is an area of like,
The town where the dwarves, there's like a dwarf town
yeah,
almost.
and how close that is to the barracks or
Yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
fine. One thing I would suggest if you wanted to do that is you could always go back to the headquarters and speak to Drill Sergeant Muldoon.
Yeah.
He is the only. He's not the only dwarf you've seen, but he's the only dwarf you've already spoken to, really. In Redford.
Like,
So,
she doesn't mind, like, walking around, like,
Just go and have a
civvies
look.
and just having
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
of
that's
saunter
fine. Yeah,
around
yeah.
Redford, that kind of stuff.
that's cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. You're more than welcome. Civvies, of course, being for you samurai armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Noble.
I
Noble
climb
samurai.
out the window.
Okay. Bye.
Acrobatics check to climb down the wall.
Yes, do it.
Oh my god.
Go on, what's the number? Natural 1. So the drain pipe actually comes away from the wall, and you tumble down into the yard with a clatter. Make me a
Dexterity?
dexterity saving throw to try and at least break your fall a bit.
15.
15. Okay, so you don't injure yourself, but it's not graceful, and you end up sprawled on your back on the cobbles. You manage to break your fall, but you feel sore from it, and there's this broken drain pipe lying next to you. Cast iron drain pipe.
Must have been rigged.
Does anyone go and look out the window to see if Vidoric's okay?
No,
No.
drunk height.
Oh yeah. No, you'd be able to peer over the
She
window
doesn't
ledge.
want
Yeah, windowsill.
I want to go
8
and
days of being
find
around this maniac.
local market
Yeah.
and
You are probably going to have to deal with Angel in a second, so get.
I know I am on my way
that.
back in.
On the way out, maybe he heard that.
Is he coming?
He comes storming around the corner.
I won't, yeah. Somebody
What's-
rigged the drain pipe.
What?
Somebody rigged the drain pipe.
What you
before.
talking? Are you coming down out of that window using that drain pipe?
Well, I was
That's
using
coming
the
out of your
wall.
wages, you know. What were you doing?
I was using the wall. I caught the drain pipe when I was falling.
Make me a deception check.
I wasn't using the drain pipe. I was going out down the wall.
Oh, okay.
That was what I said. And you just said I ripped a drain pipe off
Well, you
the
have to
wall.
have purchase on something.
I'm a monk.
You still have to have a purchase.
You,
on
yeah, I was
there's
going to say you still
brick.
have to be.
There's freaking
There'd be
handholds.
loose brick. It's a place that's in bad repair. There'd be blown
Handholds.
bricks and stuff.
Mm.
Anyway,
Okay.
persuasion then? Deception?
Deception.
Playing. Natural 20.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
It's been rigged by them.
Right. Okay. It's coming
It's
out
a
of your
natural
wages
20,
whichever
he
way.
believes me.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, yeah. He says right. Okay. It's coming out of your wages whichever way round.
How much will it cost to repair?
I don't know. I'll have to find that out.
Fair enough. Bye. I go.
It's not like the other place.
You are off.
Can't
You are
repair
off duty, so he will let it slide and just shake his head as you disappear out.
I will.
You want to go and find a market.
Yeah.
What kind of market? What
I just
kind
want to
of
buy
goods
some
are you
fresh
looking
eggs.
for? Okay. Yeah. Sure. You can absolutely do that. No problem. Not a problem.
it. Do you not have any gold?
You've not been paid yet.
No, we haven't been paid.
You're all plebs, that's why you don't have gold. I mean,
No, because
I've got no gold.
Pleb, I think
He's
you're
not got
fine.
anything
I'm a
big
proud
enough.
member of the
Are you-
Rough
are
Water
you a-
family.
are you a dwarven noble?
No,
You're a pleb.
Yeah. That's basically.
that sort of attitude.
Would
Why
anyone,
your title
would
got down
anyone
upon?
like a hot drink?
No, because
I
everybody else
would love a
is
cup
tall.
of tea.
Would you like a coffee?
Love
No, thank you.
Would you like a decaf coffee?
No, thank you.
Would you like a tea? Would you like hot chocolate?
No, thank you.
Would you like more Pepsi Max?
No, thank you.
There we go.
I'm good, thank you.
You sure?
Just gonna eat all this food. Though I had a massive amount of shepherd's pie.
Oh, shepherd's pie is amazing. I love shepherd's pie.
Why you laugh now?
What's that?
No, she hasn't got any.
Oh.
By the way, we can open these if you want to.
Oh no, it's okay. There's plenty as it is. Yes.
We're good at the moment, thank you.
We are drowning in
And sugar.
And salt. And heavy carbs. And oil. And
Sugar.
sugar. Well, more sugar.
I'm trying to get her a sweetie bowl.
Does anyone else want to do anything?
It's early
I'm still
morning. I'm
content.
probably taking my long rest at this point.
Okay. Yeah.
You
You straight to bed.
pretty much.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know, some of us had to pull the team along.
Yeah. That's true.
Sorry, who came out of this? Who came out of that combat with no crossbow bolt wounds? Oh look,
Yeah.
only
Oh,
me.
Yeah. Two
Because you
times
were
this guy.
scared of the thing at the back.
Excuse me.
I was not at the back. I was quite close up. I've only got short arms. I can't throw things that far.
Just because I can. Scrapper's gone over to annoy you.
Oh.
So does
dog mount?
does Yvette go to sleep with happy dreams of annoying the?
No, but she's trying to form a plan.
Excellent.
She's trying to what is it? A spirit the core.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
All right. Tit for tat. You can play that game.
An eye for an eye,
Run me down in the street,
Yeah.
will ya?
tooth for tooth.
Scrapper's at the end of bed annoying you.
Oh, dear.
Just as you can.
I'm just so glad that caused enough
Roll
annoyance.
me an athletics check to come back up through the window.
18 on the dice.
Yeah, that one. Don't use that one.
Don't use that dice.
Don't use that dice.
Or did you
or
roll,
never
Millie?
roll.
It rolled a 1.
It rolled a 1 again.
Mm.
No, I was taking what Tom.
Yeah, you can have my one good roll of the evening.
Tom said it first.
Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled it. It's 18 on the dice. so
That's
it's
fine.
plus
Yeah, no,
whatever.
you're fine. You get back into the room.
20.
How many eggs did you want, Viderick?
Half dozen.
Okay,
How
that's
much?
12 copper pieces.
So 1 silver, 2 copper.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, I can just afford that. Just so there's a better meal.
Than rat porridge.
It's not rat pot.
So
Hey,
Right,
I
so
got
you
notes
should
here.
probably-
I think I bought most people a sandwich.
you bought really
It was
nice
bad.
sandwiches.
You
You bought
bought really nice
sandwiches at the
sandwiches,
takeaway.
Yeah.
No, I definitely wrote they were bad.
Yeah.
No, I think somebody managed to persuade the man, the
To buy
takeaway
extra
person
special
to make
sandwiches.
nice
No,
sandwiches.
you may do better sandwiches. Than
Me and the
normal
dog got
sandwiches.
the sort of gristle.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
actually, the dog's got it in his bag. The
So,
doggy bag.
the
that
doggy
Vidrix, the Vidrix that Vidric's been
So,
feeding it. He likes Vidric. He doesn't like
So
it.
Videric has some eggs. So Videric has some eggs.
He's trying to ride him. That's why Scrapper doesn't like him,
Oh,
because
I
he's
see.
trying to ride him.
I'd like to point out for context, I'm a gnome,
You're playing a gnome.
Yes, but you're trying to ride.
and it's a mastiff.
Yeah.
Tiny gnome, big dog.
It's a massive.
Exactly.
Maybe
Little
if
dog.
you play with it, it might let you. You're going to have to run very, very high.
So,
I'm gonna get the
By
kettle
God
on
gets
Yeah.
his
and
turn
everything.
And
When
everything.
it gets to around that time where
Yeah. So, does anyone? Have we all kind of worked out that there should probably be better food supplies than they're giving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Marvelous. Just to be clear on that.
Well aware that
Yeah.
Angel's probably
We're not
got
stupid.
coin somewhere for.
Somebody's creaming it off the top.
Yep.
Probably the cream.
Hello.
can I sneak downstairs?
Yes, you can certainly
I'll
try.
attempt to be stealthy.
Could I please have a cookie? Sorry, Millie, right in the
That's a
middle.
12.
Thank you. Top. 12.
So not very stealthy, but
I will actually roll a perception because Angel is not the most perceptive of people, and he's probably napping.
if you're asleep, it's with disadvantage.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a 2 on the dice, so no, you're fine.
I want to have a look around
Mm-hmm.
and see if there are any signs of misplaced supplies or
Okay.
where
Make me a
Angel
general.
keeps his
Go on. Sorry.
perception or
No,
investigation.
go on. What were you going to say?
Where does Angel keep his food? Where does is there a massive sack of gold that's not been spent? That
Well,
sort of thing.
You're probably going to have to go into his office where he is to do that.
Well, I'll have a look in the rest of the watch house.
That's fine.
Just
So give me a
search
general
for-
investigation check for poking around.
I'm not good at this. 14.
14. So there's definitely signs in the pantry that things have been put on and taken off the shelves recently. The dust has been moved. So it looks like stuff's been delivered, perhaps,
And then resold.
and then
or-
removed. You do also notice that the backyard, the gates, which you've never seen open or move, the hinges are well greased, and but that could just be for deliveries. You don't know where the deliveries come in. You've never seen. They presumably happen during the day while you've previously been asleep. Or trancing rather. Yeah, exactly. So glow sticks everywhere. So
I think I will go and find my fellow monk,
yes.
and I will. Is it art? For short?
Yeah, art for sure. in darkness, yeah.
And I will say that over the next few days we need to alternate our trances so we can keep watch.
Yeah, that's very good thinking. Very good thinking.
And then I will wake up my fellow walkers of the path of fate with a bowl of porridge and a plate of scrambled eggs
Okay.
and a cup of tea.
You don't just deliver the scrambled egg on top of the porridge like the army used to do.
No.
Okay.
Was my brain now working up?
Watery scrambled egg on top of porridge.
Watery
And you will
porridge.
like it, boy. Yes. So, so you wake them up with food.
Wow.
This is awesome.
What happened?
You fell over.
Okay.
That's all the explanation needed.
You got back up again.
You turned into a pincushion briefly. You got better. Could you pass the sweets in this direction, please? So,
Leave that one.
are you
at that
waking
end.
up for? Leave what?
Leave that bowl at that
Leave the
end.
bowl at
Oh,
that
thank you. Cheers. Oh. One more. Mhm.
Is that the one?
So this is waking them up at the end of the long rest, ready for the evening watch. Okay. So yeah, you're woken up with breakfast for dinner.
Yeah.
The sunlight outside, even with obviously with the blackout curtains drawn, round the edges you can see that there's a lesser glow than there has been, and sunset is on its way. And you know the drill is parade downstairs at the allotted time to go out on the watch.
Absolutely, we'll sign on.
So are the barracks of the Horse Guard? It is the Horse Guard, isn't it?
They're alternatively known as the Horse Guard or the Gate Guard, depending on whether they are mounting duty, whether they are patrolling out on the road, or whether they are actually on the gates of the city.
But that might be a
But
bit
it's the same.
fortnightly.
Same
It's
people.
fine. It's the same unit, same organisation.
Are there barracks anywhere near any of our patrol routes?
There's no barracks for this lot within your area of operation, within your allotted beat.
Okay.
You'd have to go to the higher areas of the city. So the
Yeah.
higher areas, the more noble, more affluent areas of the city to find the barracks for the Horse Guard, because they tend to perform a lot of ceremonial duties as well. So they tend to be close to those areas where they'd be needed to do ceremonial duties.
Okay. So,
So yeah, that's what if you.
need to follow a lead.
Yeah, you've picked that up. That's something you can just pick up by osmosis around the city. That they would be, from being here a few days, they would have come up at some point. You could, in fact, probably have asked.
Yeah.
It'll come up in conversation from Ada. But
Suddenly the dwarf is asking too many questions about where the Horse Guard are, and
No, don't like the Horse Guard.
very haughty.
Yeah. Up themselves.
Did
Very
we?
much
Not giving the
They're also
the less fortunate a bit of an hard time.
they're not always picked for their
The
brains,
tact.
their tact and their brains. They're picked more for being big.
Sometimes the horse is the smarter one.
Yeah,
Oh, sometimes
That's
isn't it when the noble families don't have a place to put
if you were
their
asking
idiot
Ada
son?
this, Ada would be able to tell you that
Oh, I've got some stories.
some of the officers of the Horse Guard and the Gate Guard are from, not all, this isn't not the entire organisation is a bunch of arseholes, but certainly some of the officers and some of the men are not exactly the brightest of the bunch, and some of the officers are indeed from noble families, and it's sort of where do you put the one who's no good for anything else, stick them on a horse and let the sergeant major look after them, sort of thing.
Do you know what route they were going on? Do
just,
we remember?
I know they came past.
They were
the
heading
front-
past. As you walked out from the watch house and headed down beyond the canal, but beside the canal, they were coming along the opposite direction, heading past.
Should we
you.
head the same direction for our watch? The same beat?
It's okay. I was just thinking out loud. It's all
No worries.
No, don't.
You head out onto the.
Don't fash yourself.
Yeah.
Fash.
Dinny
Fash yourself.
Aye. So you head out onto the street. Obviously, Angel does all that stuff, and
I don't think I know how to fash myself.
don't you worry about those prisoners you brought in. They've been taken over to court. They're going to be dealt with. Well done, by the way.
Inside check.
More of them off the street.
Yeah.
Sir, question.
It's just the accent, isn't it, that does it? Yeah.
No, I
Don't
believe
call me
every
sir,
word is
boy.
said.
I'm a sergeant. Well, acting sergeant, but a sergeant to you.
Sorry,
I
Sergeant.
got a 14.
Okay. Insight. Any
Five.
raise? Anyone beat 14?
It's a wisdom based one.
It is a wisdom-based score.
22.
Oh wow. Yeah. From your military background, his tone of voice is kind of sneering, and he's praising you when he doesn't want to praise you, but he has indeed. That they have been sent over to be dealt with. So yeah, those who tried to put you in the ground have been taken away.
Do
to
I
be dealt
notice
with.
this as well as?
You think he's telling the truth. You don't quite pick up on the tone of voice as much. But yeah, so you head out on your watch, and when you're gone,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
a shot shoot around behind me. We have a wild cat around our ankles. But yeah, so as you head out on your watch, you notice in the distance there's a muffled sort of metallic sort of boom, boom, boom.
Would I
going
have
on
an
with it.
idea of
You
what
have
this...
an idea of what this is, Ada.
I mean, I am from
with
City
and you're
as
from
well.
City as well. Ada specifically from the tinkering background, however, would know. You've heard it before, but never really paid much attention. The reason I'll get to the reason why it's unusual.
No, I have paid attention.
Well, it's the beating heart of the city.
Exactly.
There we go. Yes. Whereas Ada knows, this is in fact a device called a steam hammer, which operates it over in one of the ironworks. And it's just very unusual to hear it still
running at this
time of evening. But
Is it
that's all
late
is.
enough to cause a public disturbance?
No, it's not. It's not late enough to call it
Research
public
that.
disturbance. But it's
It's unusual. It's probably worth checking out.
Well,
It's
The-
out-
take it
We could
the
walk.
ironworks is outside your area of
outside our
jurisdiction.
jurisdiction.
But you do note this when you come out that this sound is going on quite late at night, which seems strange to you. But it's just a passing thing.
Are
Is
there
it
any?
unheard of at all for the Ironforge
You've never
to be
heard it running. You've
night
never.
watches?
you-
Not night watches, night shifts.
You've never heard the steam hammer operating this late. That seems odd to you because, exactly as Yvette said,
It's loud.
it's loud and people would like to be complaining about it. But also, they do run. There's a limited number of ironworkers in the city.
Yeah.
They're skilled. I mean, it's a skilled job, and
Fair enough.
they don't have enough people generally. You would have thought to run 2 shifts.
20.
But anyway, so yeah, you start your watch. Can everyone make me perception checks, please?
My helmet falls over my
God,
eyes.
it's another one of those dull silver metal dice as well.
Yes, it's
They're all
great, steel-plated lead.
Yes,
Finest from China.
it's lead. It's lead on the 20 side.
Yeah.
So that always sits at the bottom.
Mm.
And it's still no.
14.
14,
Oh, 18.
18,
21.
21.
Said I walk into the canal.
Yeah.
Stop.
Is
This
someone
way.
going to help
Yeah.
stop?
Distracted by
Ada.
the noise of the steel
Yeah,
hammer.
something. Yeah,
Steam hammer.
Steam hammer. As you're wandering along, you notice there's certainly, Videric certainly notices, there are a few people who've paid mind for this as well. There are a few people sort of heads out windows, sort of looking over in the direction. And you can see as the sky darkens over on the distance, something you'd not really seen, which is a red glow in the sky over towards the Redford Ironworks, which is the leading ironworks, the Redford Ironworks Company. There's this red glow in the sky. It seems the ironworks is in full swing, long beyond the time it would normally be.
I will nod my
closed.
head to those leaning out of windows and say, "Good evening."
And you sort of, all right, yeah,
Oh,
closer.
yeah,
It's amazing how well that works.
it does. Yeah. No, never mind.
And as you're patrolling along, you hear a familiar sound from that you heard the other evening. This sort of snorting,
Oh, that bloody wagon.
chuffing noise, and this you see far more controlled manner this time. This little engine pulling its wagon
That
load
could.
of iron. Yes, comes trundling round onto the street beside the canal and draws up next to the canal, and you see that in the distance it comes to a stop and sort of hisses and sputters, and then you can see men get off and start to, with one of the cranes that are fixed to the quayside there, start unloading the iron into one of the barges. It's on your patrol route, so
Yes.
Someone with abnormally long legs catch up with them and ask them why the ironworks are still working. You as
I'm
well,
monks. I can monk
You're doing
speed.
the same
No, I
crew as
can't
last
go
night,
monk speed yet.
from what
I
from this
just mean
distance,
somebody
yeah,
who's
you think so,
A
because
30-foot
Yeah.
movement
you notice the
speed.
chap
I
who's
will.
looking
Yeah,
after
I've
the
got 30-foot
engine
movement speed as well.
has a bandage round his head still.
In which case I'm
So-
gonna-
I
so he
will.
has the hair puffed
Yeah.
up in the middle sort of thing with this bandage.
I'll try and approach them because I sort of seem to get along well. with
Yeah,
them.
yeah, you showed a keen interest, and you see the son, Jackson, who was looking, who you chatted to the
Yeah.
other evening. So, oh, hello there. Everything
there.
all right? How's it
Hello there,
going?
Jackson. Fine. How's your dad?
Oh, he's all right. He's just tending to the engine. He's doing all right. He thought he was fine to come into work today, so he has, and we've just taken her for another test run. She's running fine now.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
she was running fine yesterday until he got wet around the head and it ran away.
Oh, you'll have to sort that out because otherwise next time we will have to give you a ticket.
Ah, right. Well,
or something. I'm not quite sure. We've looked through the book. There isn't anything about.
No,
the
we've had some
driverless
we've had
carriages.
some talk with the the relevant authorities about that, and they think they're going to set some rules out for us having one of these things on the road. It's a bit different from having a horse.
Less smelly.
Well, it depends. The smell's a bit different, really. It's a cleaner smell, I think.
Nicer smell.
Nicer smell, yeah.
Engine oil.
Engine-
Do you know why the steam hammer's still running?
Oh, you mean the ironworks? Oh, the ironworks is running a late shift tonight. They've got a special project on.
Do you know anything about
Very
it?
hush hush. I'm not supposed to say.
Oh, you can tell me. I'm your friend.
Make me a persuasion check. Make me an outrageous persuasion check.
8. I am not persuaded him.
At that moment, Dad comes over and Richard puts his hand on the lad's shoulder. Now, boy, what you were saying, don't be passing on any secrets from the ironworks there. These may be coppers, but you can't be telling them things like that. There's no law breaking going on.
I was going to say,
of
I
course
pop
not.
up and go, is it anything we need to worry about?
Oh no, absolutely not. No, you'll learn in due course.
Are they doing anything suspicious?
Inside joke.
What do you mean by suspicious?
Oh, for
Nefarious.
What's your language around the boy?
I think they're telling the truth completely.
No, there is no. As far as you're aware, and yeah, there's nothing suspicious. It's just a job they've been given that they're not allowed to
Yeah,
talk
so they
about.
wouldn't even know anything.
It's just if you were a person who considered absolutely
Yeah,
everything
absolutely. If
connected
you're-
by
if
threads
you were-
of fate and conspiracy.
If you were a parachuting Noid,
Yes.
you would think there was something to this, but no, it's just they're not allowed to talk about it. That's literally it. So yeah.
Can I check his wound?
Yes. If you wish to remove the bandages and things, you might.
I'll refresh them.
You might.
It
Okay.
was done with my herbalism kit.
Well, originally this is fresh. This has
It's
been
fresh,
done by
it's
someone
good.
else. Yeah.
So
No, it's
it's
been
not-
redressed. It's not the dressing from last night. It's a bit covered in. You can see where he sort of wiped his brow and
Smut
scratched.
everywhere.
There's smudges of ink, oily fingerprints all over the exterior.
Well, the
but
coal isn't that much of a problem.
oil and coal is not really a problem for. It's pretty sterile dirt. Yeah.
More gives a medium for it to grow in.
It does,
It's a
yes,
long-term
exactly.
issue,
That's it. Yeah, no, but it's external. It's all on the bandage. So yeah.
All of us with our intricate knowledge of germ theory in this magical city.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. It gives a medium for pathogens to grow on and infect the wound. No,
Well, I am
malodorous odour.
proficient.
Yes,
I am
yes.
proficient
The miasma.
in
That's what it
herbalism kit, so
Yes.
that's the same as being a doctor.
Basically, yes. You're
It is in
basically
this
a
world.
doctor. Yeah. So yeah, you
All qualified, most
yeah
of the
you,
doctors.
you sort of chat to them and they don't know why, but it is running an extra
But they're
shift
running
for
an
some
extra
reason.
shift.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's fine. So there's no law breaking here. Everything's absolutely fine.
No,
So just,
everything seems to be in order. Don't worry, lad.
Have you had any rumours about any suspicious people who might have been responsible for your injury?
Oh, no rumours there. No, I mean, chappie from the watch came to talk to me about it at the yard earlier today. Asked me if I've seen anything. I told him why I told you, because I don't know more than I did yesterday.
What was his name?
It was he said it was Jamerson. Jamerson it was.
Gentlemen, we
Red-headed chap.
Lad. Yeah,
Well,
we
these two met.
Red-headed chap he was. Yeah, he seemed to know what he was about. I warrant he'll find out who it were and they'll be dealt with. The cat is interesting smells. Hello. Interesting smells and sounds from outside. What do we smell bad when you're trying to get fresh air? It's so funny when she sometimes she makes such a bad smell when she goes to the toilet that she runs straight to the window, literally, and sticks her head up against. It's terrible. Oh God, I see. And then we smell it a bit afterwards because we've not got as good smell. So anyway,
That's
two
doing contacts
more.
with Tom.
back to the RPG.
No. Believe me, cats can make bad
Back
smells.
to D&D. Yeah, Predator poop is not nice. Back to D&D. Back to D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is. I'll probably edit that part out.
No.
No. Authenticness.
The authenticness.
Real.
This is genuine.
Genuine
Keeping it
D&D.
real. So yeah, you
Carry on our watch.
You carry on your watch. There's nothing here to prosecute or
No, they
warn
seem
them
to be
off. But you know, you're checking on things, so talking to.
I will
locals
again
is good.
instruct his son that if he starts to be excessively sleeping,
Yes. Oh, that's a good idea.
or you know, dizzy, faint.
Thank you.
Oh, you're giving health advice. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you were reprimanding.
Yep. So you give him health advice, and that's all fine and dandy.
Tell them to make sure they eat a decent amount of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Small meals multiple times a day.
Nutritional advice.
Are you sure you've gone into the right
You
profession, love?
should prepare meals.
Don't
I love
shush
that
me.
doesn't even look at them. So yeah, you carry on your merry way, and as the evening grows later, you pass by a point that you hadn't passed by at this time previously, because obviously you alter your way around. You're walking slightly each time, and you come past a pub called the Nesting Partridge. Pub, tavern, some manner of boozery, trendy booze bar, and you can hear
iniquity.
as you're approaching,
And
you can
gin.
hear a bit of a ruckus in progress.
I will open the door and say, "Hello, hello, hello."
Oh dear.
What is going on here?
As you're approaching, you haven't arrived yet. Just give me one moment.
My apologies.
Oh dear.
You moved too quick for me.
This is gonna
I'm
end
the monk.
This is gonna end in trouble.
Yeah. So
Snap.
as you're approaching, the door bursts open, and you see a figure come out of the tavern backwards, or out of the pub door backwards. At least he came out the door, not through a window. Some of you may think that might pass through some of your minds.
They're those
and
really
behind him-
small, thick block Tudor windows.
Yeah,
so...
yeah. And behind,
You
behind,
could probably get through one.
if someone was coming through that, they'd be in bits. So that's even
Yeah.
worse. You see behind this figure, another figure, quite a large figure, come out. Seems to have just landed a blow and is going for another one. Make me perception checks, please.
No, that's what I'm
No.
for.
That thump was the big metal dice, I think.
18.
Yes. 18?
12.
16.
14.
Okay.
Ah, shit.
So, as this all happens quite quickly, Ada notices the figure moving backwards, as if it's just been punched, appears to have horns, which you haven't seen. You would be
No.
you might have heard and have an idea of who this is, but you've not seen someone
Such a
of this
specimen.
someone of this nature in Redford before. And they sort of stagger backwards, and there's a little bit of a slope here on the road. And as they're staggering, they slip on the cobbles and fall backwards.
Ah.
And this chap who seems to have punched them advances on them.
Can I say it now?
You absolutely can.
Hello, hello, hello. What appears to be going on here then?
And the larger chap turns towards you, sees the group, you says, "Oh, just settling a little difference of opinions. That's all.
What difference?
This gentleman,
I unhook.
this gentleman owes
unbuckle
me.
my truncheon.
This gentleman owes me a drink and will not get me a drink. That's all.
Why do you
Why-
believe he owes you a drink, sir?
He lost to me at cards, and this chap, I didn't lose to you at cards. You cheated, and I refused to buy a drink for a cheater.
How
This
do
is
you
pure
know?
prejudice and nothing else.
How do
He
you know?
thinks he can push me around because of, well,
I'm going to
And as
roll.
you all- as
I'm
you
going
move-
to roll. Is it one insight check for the both of them, or
make me an insight check for each. So tell me which you're doing first, because obviously you listen.
shiny will be the devil?
Mhm.
I'm going in the pub.
Right.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
just going to stop drinking.
I want to find out more information to see
Can't have,
whether
can't have drunken
if you.
disorderly charges.
I want
if
to find
there's
out
no
more
beer
information
left.
if somebody saw him cheat.
I have an 8 for the devil, but for the big guy, who I find highly suspicious, I get a 22.
Yeah, the big guy probably was cheating. Well, the big guy is telling the truth as far as he's concerned, but you get the impression that there's a waver to his voice that this, this may not be as square as it appears.
I'm
It
sorry.
is as he's trying to make it seem. This
I've
isn't
gone
as-
inside to try and find out more
as,
information.
yeah. You've gone inside the tavern as well.
Yeah, to
The
try and
side
find
pub
out
as
more
well.
information.
So is it just Ada and
I'll
Videric
try and
outside?
attend to the man with the curious horns.
You
I
can see
am
Polly has this
aware.
sort of orangey mottled red skin. So it's a mix of. It's almost like a salamander skin.
Okay.
There's patches of red and orange.
How did you say he was cheating? Marked cards, hidden cards.
Hidden cards, and he wasn't too subtle about it. I played him to the end.
And were there 5 aces?
No. Well, there may be. I haven't had a chance to look at the deck we were
Is
playing
the deck
with,
still in there?
The deck's still in there, yes.
The
Well,
rest
unless
of-
one of his ruffian friends has disposed of it already.
We'll see. You, sir. Were you cheating this man?
No, right.
You understand that lying to a member of the watch whilst they are performing their duties is an arrestable offence.
Right. So,
Can I make
play...
an intimidation check?
You can certainly make an intimidation check. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I have nothing in intimidation.
Jolly good.
19.
Yeah. Look, I play a different style of game. That's just my
Different style.
prerogative.
Does different style mean cheating?
It might not stick to the complete rules of the game all the way through.
Did you inform this man that you were going to cheat before he started playing with you?
No.
Do you think it's fair that you force him to buy you a drink, though?
In hindsight, no. I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding here, and I think that I should probably buy him a drink.
As an apology?
Yeah.
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 Yes, I
Yeah,
think.
that sounds like a good idea to
That would be
me.
a really good idea.
Mm.
I will, because Ada can only help someone up so
Yeah,
far,
Or
because she's
make
so
a
tiny.
medicine check.
Medicine check? Yeah, you can see.
If you want to use my herbal, you're not herbal proficient.
I am not herbal proficient.
You're fire proficient.
Fire cauterizes. I don't know what you're on about.
True.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah,
He's
right.
not bleeding. He's
I've
just
got
bruised.
a lovely flask of tea. Don't worry.
This is where you discover that tieflings are fire resistant.
Yes, I really do, because I didn't pull out the flask of tea from my bag by the looks of it.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
Really?
There's a bit of blood around the lips, but other than that,
I
you really
will.
have no
I
idea.
will walk over
It
and
hurts.
try and
Yeah,
help
you got hurt.
help the devil
Yeah.
Racist.
up. I don't know what it is.
Clearly some sort of
I will make a
tiefling or
medicine check.
fleeting.
You can make me. What would a tiefling be? Arcana?
Yes.
For what?
Maybe
Plain,
Arcana.
extra planar.
Extra planar.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, if it's
Maybe.
extra planar, it's a slightly different check.
Make me Arcana checks. Let's say it's that for the moment.
Well, maybe just a history check.
Yeah, history check actually. Yeah, let's call it a history check to have heard
Can we-
about.
can we
It's
do with
wisdom
Arcana?
plus proficiency.
No, right, okay.
I got a 16
No,
Medicine.
to try and just.
14 off Arcana.
It'd be the
He's got a
same on
split
history.
bottom lip, and there's a nasty bruise spreading sort of across the left side of the
I
jaw.
give him incredible advice about the cold compress, and
I think I'll start with whiskey.
Small meals.
that will help for the pain. Probably the more expensive the whiskey, the more it will assist.
It's like you can read my mind. So he will sort of get up and sort of shuffle his way into the.
I will follow the pair of them
Yeah,
back
that
into
sounds
the
like
pub and then just stand there,
And you
seeing
can
what
see
the
that
others are doing.
The big bloke's mates are still sat around the table, sort of. One or two of them have been looking through the window at what's been going on. As you came in originally,
Yeah.
Lizette,
So I went in
they sort of all leant on the table and, sort
and
of
went
started
up to
talking.
the bar.
Yeah, let's before they follow you in, let's see what Lizette was doing in there.
So
You
go
say
in.
Lizette?
Lizette,
Yvette.
Sorry,
Yvette Fielding.
I apologise. No, I know.
Daughter of
Lizette.
Gloria Hungerford.
Yeah, I know. Lizette is
Head of
someone
the
I know from
Honeyford
reenacting.
Mines.
Head of the Honeyford Mines. I misspoke. I apologise.
There we go. We've got the lineage in.
Yeah,
It's all done.
it's very important for dwarves.
Right. So Yvette goes up to the bar.
No, straight
A
across.
dwarf,
Dwarf walks into the bar.
a dwarf, a gnome, and
things
a
on the outside,
and-
light switch
and a
on
monk.
the outside.
So she heads into the bar
yes.
and
Pulls
looks.
off the head of a jelly baby.
Yeah, rips the jelly baby, decapitates it mercilessly with her giant sword. Oh yes, please.
I would like another.
No, what can I get you, me dear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dandelion and burdock okay for you,
Yeah,
boss?
it's fine for me.
And does there some? Who's behind the bar? Who looks like they're in charge?
So behind the bar,
Who
there
looks
is
like
this...
they doesn't want to talk to me, and who does?
Has she read the rules on gambling ordinances?
Yeah, behind the bar, there is a woman who looks like she could punch a person through a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, looking kind of daggers at the doorway before you walk in already. She's watching where she's clearly been watching where these two have just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And as you come in, she eyes you up with the uniform on and says, "Oh, well, that's nice to see you around. We don't very deep voice woman.
It's all right.
We don't normally expect the watch to show up as what's the word I'm looking for?
Expediently.
Does that come from Viderick outside? Yeah.
Expediently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll do. Are you dealing with them?
I believe so. I have another matter. It's my understanding that establishments that purvey alcohol must be licensed or at least registered with the town.
Yeah.
And it's my further understanding that if they wish to also have boxing matches or card gambling here, that must also be part of your license, must it not?
It must
Oh,
indeed.
no.
The boxing isn't, which is why I sent those two outside.
Do you have a copy? And I just want to
I'm sure that I gave you the non-weed drink.
Yeah, just
non-weed, non.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you smell it, you'll be able to tell the difference between mouse.
I'm just teasing her still.
I'm going to stop eating sweets because
No.
I've eaten lots of tea.
Sweets is good.
No.
It's
I'm
only
gonna-
once a month.
No. Look for wherever they're.
Yeah,
The
so you can
licenses.
see in this sort of gothic script hung up behind the bar in a very faded gilt frame, this ancient document. And you think that this, looking around the tavern, looking around the pub, I keep calling it a tavern because I'm in D&D mode, but it is a pub. You think that it probably is as old as this establishment, and this establishment must be hundreds of years old. And it is a valid license. You know, it's not been, it's never been revoked and renewed, clearly.
Yeah.
Because
it's there and that kind of
it's
stuff.
there, yeah. But
Okay.
it is there. This is a properly licensed premises. She sort of reaches up towards it and would you want?
No, I just want to,
I mean,
make
I'm
sure.
the innocent party in this, really.
No, I understand. I just want to.
But yeah, we don't have a license for fighting in this place. Well, for organised fights. I mean, that's not an organised fight. That's a bar brawl. They do happen, you know. I don't condone it. I don't like my furniture being broken.
No, nobody does.
And the whole pub has gone pretty quiet now, and it's just listening to this.
Yeah, as it does. Everybody's like no eye contact,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
silent.
Yeah.
I walk over and just go over
Okay.
and basically try to see if there's anybody who actually kind of find out if anybody saw what happened and see if the cards are still there and just check them out to
Yeah.
see
Well, if you look
if
at
what they said what actually happened,
Absolutely.
like that the guy was actually cheating or not, or whether you know what I mean.
Well, you don't need to make an insight check to see where they were playing because there's a table with two chairs
Yeah.
and people sat around who've been watching, and they're still sat around this table, and there are a deck of cards on the table. As you're doing this, Viderick and the two belligerents walk in behind you.
One was quite eloquent, to be
Well,
honest.
yes. You can see the group sort of recoil a little bit from you and huddle closer in the conversation. This group who appear to have been observing, appear to have been watching this game of cards. So yeah.
I'm going to slip.
Do you
through
know
the
how this
doorway.
all-
Just 1 minute we're doing with.
Do you know how all this started? I know I've heard from outside. I've heard two different stories. So I just would like to just get a bit of information. You're not in trouble. We're just wondering.
It's between them. I mean, I don't know why. You know, and none of us do we, boys? No, yeah, we don't know. No. They'll tell you what's going on.
Are the cards still out on the table?
Yeah, there's still some cards on the table. Yeah.
So,
Just kind of like look at them.
Yeah.
I'm down.
They're not nicked. They're not stolen or anything.
No, but they are an article in a potential assault. You understand? These may all become evidence.
Oh, well,
Do you have other cards to play with?
No, we don't. No, we don't have any cards.
If you
Go back over to the
could
bar.
you help?
Yeah.
And be like, do you have perhaps a deck of cards?
I don't like letting that lot play with the pub's cup. But if you need.
If you have no cards, unfortunately, gentlemen, this is evidence. Good night. I'm gonna just scoop it up, write a note,
Brilliant.
put
Give
it
me a
down.
receipt.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Look
Yeah,
them
well,
all in
they
the
were-
eye.
And
They weren't that very. I'm sorry,
as
guys.
the tiefling walks in. So you want go on? Sorry.
I was
yes,
just
you
going to
wanted
say to when Yvette goes over and closes up the car, saying, you know, if you would have just helped us out, that might not have had to happen. But because we can't get all the information we need, then unfortunately they've had to be taken.
And they sort of all look at each other and just grimace a bit. Videric, you were walking into the.
I
Is
will
Ada
have
following
them.
on
I'll
behind?
have them walking in front of us, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of stand in the
Yeah.
shadowiest
Shadowiest
corner.
area. I like it.
Well, this big guy kind of slouches up to the bar, slouches up to the bar, looking around at everyone. And goes, he's owed a drink on. He's owed a drink on me. It's a fair cop.
Gov.
He's owed a drink on me. Now, look, it's absolutely fine. It's all sorted out. There's no need to press charges or anything on this man. As long as he's true to his word and buys me a drink, I'll let the blow to my delicate features slide.
Unfortunately, sir, I have acquired some evidence. And now you must understand that there's a phrase, what is it? And due process? So I must take your name and your name and your name and begin doing all that and take as many names as possible and then bid them goodnight. That kind of thing.
The tiefling sort of shrugs at the big guy, and the big guy sort of looks at him and goes like that, and he orders a drink, and they sort of they're both at the bar now,
Yeah.
and you guys are quite welcome to make your exit. And
So yeah, I want to take his name, the tiefling's name, the big
tiefling's
dude's name, and I assume there are other names, but they will become inconsequential.
They would become inconsequential. The big guy is called Reg.
Reg. Big Reg.
Yeah, that's possibly his nickname. Possibly his nickname.
In the Fae clubs.
Big Reg.
Pointy Steve.
Pointy Steve the Tiefling. It wasn't his name, but that is going to be a Tiefling's name sometime soon.
Reg Miller.
Yeah.
Miller's his last name.
Reg Miller and Big Reg. What a coincidence.
Reg Miller. And then,
Fortescue Albemarle.
oh god.
Pointy Steve.
Pointy Steve.
Q Albemarle.
Albemarle. So ALB.
EERMAL.
He's just loving it.
Where
What?
does he get these names from?
Simon,
I just made that up then because I hadn't given
he
the
got them
tiefling a
from
name.
school.
Devilman. There we go.
He got a very expensive education.
And I'll thank them. I will tell them there's no charges pressed. No charges pressed. They can come and collect their cards from the watch house tomorrow evening after it's all been catalogued.
Oh my god.
Right.
And just
We'll give them a time just before we go on shift.
yeah.
So we're around, but not.
Angel has to deal with it.
No. So
No.
we can
I
deal
think
with
the
it.
opposite of that.
Oh.
Well, there are a few cogs for a moment, and then no, okay, yeah.
I don't see how Angel would
I don't want to
react.
inflict Angel on anyone.
So if
Yeah,
if
but
you're
once
leading,
the
if you
angel
look
will
back,
react
you
to
get a
that.
slight nod from the barwoman, the woman behind the
wouldn't
bar.
care.
You get a sort of approving.
Depends, because if he knows about
Or he might try and
he knows
steal
about the
money from
games.
them.
No,
or
I don't
something.
think he'd know about the games. It's just
I don't think
Oh.
this is connected to Angel in
I'm
any
Angel-
suspicious of Angel.
You
so
think
I'm gonna
everything's
say-
connected to everything?
It's not connected.
No,
to
everything's
Angel.
connected
Angel's
to
you,
me.
just
yeah,
a bit of a bent.
I am the
It's not connected to
centre
Angel,
of
but it
this
would be
city's...
busy work for
The
Angel.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what I mean. Give him more busy
Like-
work. It'd be funny.
If people
Yeah.
were arriving
Out
at the
of character.
station
So Yvette
frequently,
freezes
For a second.
yeah,
for like 30 seconds until we're actually getting to the point where we might think she's... Are you okay?
beautiful mind moment.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick. And then no.
Sherlock.
Yeah, mind palace of that building.
I should have gone Sherlock Holmes. That's what my character should have been.
You should have played a Sherlock Holmes character. Yeah.
But
Darn it! I missed a good idea
yeah,
there.
I should play
The thing
a
is-
Kenku Mastermind Rogue.
Yes, you were. It's a real shame because I was really tempted by that character as well.
Kenku Mastermind Rogue.
Really tempted.
Are these cards marked?
No, they aren't, but there are a few more than there should be in the deck.
Alright, so.
Surprisingly, only aces.
Cards.
and
How
kings.
many?
Yeah.
So like in the log, it's one set of cards, 58
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Extra aces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sort through.
You actually know. Well, no, you do notice that one or two that you pick out as obvious different because the backs are slightly different.
Yeah.
They are actually not that.
It's not.
They're not a perfect match. They're not far off.
It's
The
like
pattern on
two
the back-
sets.
It's two sets of cards
And
that
they
have been mixed
picked
together.
them
Yeah.
because old.
Yeah.
It
Battered
just
cards.
came off one big sheet.
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Well,
you
it's
did-
possible it's actually two battered sets of cards that some have got so
Yeah.
worn. But yeah, you know.
Yeah,
they-
one sheet,
To
and,
make
then,
it good.
and then they wouldn't worry about aligning it up
Yeah.
perfectly for the next sheet. You just print it
So-
on one side and print it on the other.
Yeah.
Then
That's
make
a
the
good
basic
deck
combine 2 decks into one to make a decent deck because obviously other cards are missing
a
out
lot
for
of
other
cards are
decks.
missing and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah. But at the same time, that then allows.
They
you
should
to,
always buy all their cards from Bicycle, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, yes.
That's-
Get
So.
that floating for
Yeah.
when you play 52 card pickup.
Yeah. So.
So yeah, you carry on your patrolling.
I am trying to master the
Proceeding.
Watchman's amble.
Yes,
Proceed.
the sort of
Yes,
hands
you shall
clasped
proceed.
loosely behind the back,
Yeah.
feet kicking slightly as you walk.
Gentle in-swing of the leg.
Don't whistle, gives you away.
Yeah.
A handy tip from Sergeant Angel. No,
Yeah.
he's not done big duty in years. Yeah, you're
Probably a lot less petty burglaries after he stopped.
I'm not going to say
Crime
you're
went
wrong.
down, I think,
I'm
in
not
the
gonna
area
say you're
generally.
wrong.
Reported
There's a
crime went
different
down.
type of crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're sort of proceeding along. There are a couple of other ale houses around on your patch, but nothing seems to be going on there. There doesn't seem to be any particular disharmony. You do notice that even as it grows quite late, you can still hear the steam hammer running in the distance, being thumping away at something.
Very curious.
And this glow is still extant.
Do we know
in the
who
sky.
owns the steam place?
The Ada would probably know from her tinkering background. It's one of the gentry
Oh, okay.
within the town.
There's one of the
within
gentry in the
city.
town.
Yeah, it's one of the gentry
One of the
within the
knobs.
city.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's
Owns
worth.
it.
Gentry.
It's
I'm
not
quite
run
well
by.
spoken.
I'm just
Oh.
wondering if it's worth speaking to the owner of the people who of the.
But do you think we need to follow a lead, which
No,
might
this
take
is
us
the thing,
out
there's-
of our beat
There's
area?
no lead to follow, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They are
It
allowed
is
to work,
unusual.
Yeah.
but they
I'm
are.
sure there's a lead.
But
Something to
unless
do with
we
your
hear-
friend and his stupid wagon.
okay, yes, he is my friend.
Yeah,
It
true
is
that.
not a stupid wagon. It is a technological
stupid
marvel.
wagon. Crashed into the side and nearly injured people.
All great inventions
To be
have their
fair-
prototype
To be fair,
stage.
that's because the driver
And
was hit
yes.
with a rock.
And what God
That
just
doesn't
said.
care, it's a stupid wagon.
I thought dwarves would like new technology. I don't know.
No, no,
I-
dwarves,
I
dwarves
find
don't like new
myself-
technology.
No.
They like well-tested
Oh,
technology.
testing technology.
What do we
yeah,
do with-
yeah, that's true.
Or
That's fair.
ancient
That's
technology,
tradition.
because
That's fair.
I mean
That's
the
very fair.
the ancestors knew
tradition.
best.
Yeah.
Invoking, admittedly,
Steam
Warhammer
is an
dwarves, but
abomination. But anyway, so you're proceeding along, and you sort of find words.
Yeah.
You wend your way back to the
Or wiggly
the
way.
bank of the canal.
went our way wildly back.
Wildly,
Westward.
wildly,
Westwardly.
westward. You wend your way
Widdershensly.
towards the Wither, which is in fact a canal.
Mhm.
And you're wandering alongside the canal, and you hear this sound of hoofbeats on the cobbles again. And you sort of, if you do look over your shoulder, you'll see
The horse guy.
Can I fling? I'm going to fling a Tanglefoot,
Not
tangle
on
root
a
bag at them.
horse.
really.
Just like underarm in a
Well,
sort of
they're
slightly
approaching
sneaky way.
behind you, and one of the lead chaps who's sort of rising trot in the saddle in his armour, sort of, don't you know the rules of the road? Get over to the right.
Just proceed
Yes.
to the right. And just move.
So as they
Go and
pass
just
you,
throw something under.
okay, sure.
I will throw a tangle root.
Do you want to do it
I want to try and do it slightly
stealthily.
Slightly
So
subtly.
perhaps make a stealth
Sleight
check.
of hand.
Or performance.
We'll say stealth.
Stealth check?
17.
That would be a 17.
Okay, so no one seems to notice you do this.
Mm.
So inform me of what happens.
Cool. So a tangle route.
It's from outside, I think.
I think it's like thingy vines.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. So I can reach into my house, just pull out a bag filled with writhing, sticky black tar and hurl it into point on the ground within 30 feet. Burst and impact covers the area in a 5-foot goo. Sticky goo. It's difficult terrain for a minute and has its speed halved. So it just makes
so
it
the back half of the column sort of breaks. The horses sort of stagger a bit and break with the lead, and as the sort of the hoof beats become disjointed, and you see the chap who shouted at you turn in the saddle. What the devil are you doing back there? Keep up! And there's sort of this moment, and they few of them break into a canter after passing this bit to catch up with the back of and they sort of all look back at you with just sort of a quizzical look, looking back at the ground and looking at you as
Can
they
I
clear off.
roll a perception check to try and memorise their faces? Oh.
Sure, yeah, you can do. Yeah, certainly the guy who was shouting at you would be easy to pick, easy to see.
No.
No, okay. No.
It's those dice. They don't like you.
Generically human look.
Generic, yeah.
The humans. They all
Yeah.
look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Two nostrils.
No. Kneecaps.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, kneecaps. Yeah, to a gnome. Yeah, thigh. Yeah. So yeah,
They build everything to the wrong scale.
It should be about 3
Even
foot
the
high.
people.
So that they haughtily pass. It's literally like a.
But are slightly
like a
embarrassed.
like a paladin's aura,
Mm.
an aura of smug.
Mm-hmm.
But less smug,
Less smug now. Yeah.
because they didn't look fabulous
No,
whilst
they
they were
didn't. That was
doing...
not-
While they were showing up
Not
to the
fabulous.
commoners.
It was not fabulous.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So are we near the end of our
You
watch?
come to the end of your watch now.
Right.
Yeah. You're heading back
around our watch house.
Yes.
Like what's either? So obviously we face the canal.
Yes, you do. You face the canal.
What's like left and what's right?
To the left of you there's a gap with your yard sort of comes in an L shape around the building. There's a gap and then there's houses. for a bit.
So residential.
Residential.
Okay.
And then across the other side there's a side road, and then on the other side
Oh,
of the
so we're
side
on a
road.
corner.
Yeah, you're on a corner. On the other side of the side road is fish and chip shop. So the gates of the L open onto that side road. They don't open straight onto an alley behind you. They open onto the side road. So
Okay.
that's why it's an L. Or the yard is an L around the building. And the fish and chip shop is the other side of the.
Okay.
But you've not seen that open yet because you've been asleep
It's
during
night
the day.
watch, so it's shut, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You've been told it's very good.
Do we know?
Oh.
Does the fish and chip shop have like an opening times on it? Does it have?
Yeah, you can certainly go and have a look.
Yeah, I
on
want
the
to
door
go.
for
I'm
an
going
opening
to go
time.
and have a look on the opening hours.
Yeah, so they open. It says they open at 10 o'clock.
And we finish our watch at what, 8?
8, and they close again. No, sorry, they're open until about 7 o'clock.
They just have a late written on it.
Late, yeah. But,
So
but
whenever
you've
they
not
want.
seen them. You've not seen them open, so
But
it's not
we
that late.
we don't tend to go out before our watch.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
You
So
could,
we
theory,
could, in
get up and
theory, have
fish
it for
and chips
breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they probably do sausage and stuff as well if you want to get.
From indeterminate.
Yeah, I was going to say sausage of indeterminate origin.
Genuine pig product.
It's a meat pie.
If I was to stay up until they opened,
Yes.
then would I still be able to get a long rest?
You would get a long rest, but you would just get up into your armour and go out and watch. You wouldn't have time for any breakfast after getting up. You'd have to perhaps eat on the fly.
Okay.
You could drop into a sandwich shop,
Yeah.
have a gristle sandwich.
Gristle sandwich. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of the pubs may order food. There are some rules regarding that on your watch. You're not really
not
supposed to.
So,
Stuff
Put it on your, yeah. You have to look professional.
But yeah, you didn't get. No one made an attempt on your life.
Which
I'm
is
good with whatever. No one made an attempt on your life during this watch, so you've got to think that's a pretty successful evening,
There's
really.
a trend breaker.
A trend breaker.
Yeah. It was a.
Who
Shall we write a report?
Yeah. Write a report. Log in the set of cards.
Yeah.
Chuck them in a drawer somewhere.
Angel's sort of mildly interested in that, and then is completely disinterested about anything else really that you say. You
Yeah.
know. Oh right. Yeah. So you're expecting people to come around for those, right? Okay. Well done. You just broke them up. Yeah. Oh dear, what a night, eh? Oh, I'm beat.
Sir,
Feels like I've walked the streets myself.
Sarge.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I was wondering,
Make it quick.
is there a post office nearby? Where I can send a letter back to my dad to let me know, let us know getting on, because I might be a bit worried.
Yeah, you'd need to go down towards Dolly Tub Watch House, and then turn right just before you get to it. The first side street before you get to it, about halfway up there, there's a post office. Yeah.
Okay.
Best to do it before you go on duty.
Because it'll be
rather
shut.
It'll be shut now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try and wake
Yeah,
up
or
early.
you could stay up a bit and.
Do you know what time they open at?
Open relatively early, about 7 or 8 o'clock.
Okay. No problem.
So they'd be opening just before you. Yeah, they should be open soon. If not, yeah, they should be open soon. I would have thought. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have cause to post much myself, so I've not been.
No
there
worries.
for a
Just
while,
wanted to
but
see.
I remember it is there, definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I will go up, and if we've not brought anything else, I will make us more porridge.
There is more porridge. There's no more. Go on.
No, sorry.
Okay.
What time is it roughly? Is it about
So you get in off watch
8 a.m.
about 8 o'clock in the
8 a.m.
morning.
So the market's starting to open.
The market will be starting to open. Yeah, if you want to, I would say with Viderick when
Yeah,
you've got.
I'm gonna
down
go.
to the market.
You
I
don't
s-
have any money.
I'm not going to buy things. I'm curious about the steam hammer.
You're doing off-duty
I'm
policing.
interested.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Tinkerer.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Why,
gonna-
why
I'm gonna
does
stay
it need
up
to
then.
run? Because as far as I'm aware, there's no sort of big, grand, sort of juicy news rumours that.
No,
going
you've
around
not
the
heard
city.
any. This is as was said by the Trevelyan.
Would
It's
anyone
just-
like a
it's
jam
just a-
donut?
No,
I'm
I don't
full.
think.
I'm
I'm
full.
stuffed.
Not right now.
But maybe in a minute.
Moving a bit.
Yeah,
Would you like
maybe
it with a
maybe in a
coffee?
minute.
Was it?
I'll have it with a cup of tea in a bit. I think. Yeah, let's see. You wanted to say something.
So we
Did
killed
I?
the blue dragon.
Oh, me and Art are going to enact our incredibly clever plan once we've eaten our porridge, which I imagine
Oh,
we're both
yes!
quite more
You want
monastic.
to watch for. So you decided it probably wasn't the best idea to
No, I've
write
gone.
to the.
I've gone to the
Oh,
post
'cause,
office.
But you've gone to the post office.
Yeah, I've gone to the
Marvellous.
post office to
I've
post the
gone to the
letter,
market.
and I've also gone to get some supplies because I know we're quite low. So I want to get some supplies and
Stuff.
stuff.
I will go with somebody because I want to be as long as we're back at around
You want to be
10-ish.
oot and a boot.
I will
Do you
be
wanna come
going
with
to
me, so-
various market stalls to pick up supplies of an alchemical nature.
I
Okay.
give him
If
some.
that's, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I go to the post office and then my way back goes to the market stalls to get to get some bits I need.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
That's also completely doable.
How much is a stamp?
A stamp would be a single copper piece.
Cool.
For pretty much anything up to a small parcel that will send.
That's
Which
fine.
is
That's what I'm sending. I'm sending like a thing to my-
journal of what
a
you've been
li-
up to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, you can certainly do that.
Dear father, I have made
Is there
here safe,
anywhere you can take photos?
and I'm not
There's
drinking
no
at any
photography. There's no
establishment.
photography in
Cool.
this.
You could
Yes,
draw
there
a
are no
picture.
imps in boxes.
I draw.
Plates.
I'm not.
Like-
I'm no good at drawing, but my dad knows this, so I'm going to draw a picture
Yeah.
and send it home of
Yeah,
the send it home to so he knows kind of he knows a bit about it.
Sorry, you send home one of those children's pictures of a city, so it's a load of square
If
houses.
you sort of,
I've got cartography. I'm a cartographer.
yeah,
I could make you a map of the.
Millie or Yvette?
Millie is playing.
Yvette.
both.
Yvette
So,
is a cartographer.
You would know. Ada would know that although photography is not a thing, you wouldn't know what that is. You don't know what that is.
Photography isn't a thing, Ivar. I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, I went
That
to
is
the
a very
meta
strange
there.
word. Yeah, no, but you would know of there is a such
There's
thing
a
as there's a magic lantern, which is where people paint on plates and then
Oh,
you project
glass
the
plate.
painting and make it bigger. So, or another thing they can do is print on glass like an etching.
Oh,
like
do
you
they have
would
the
for a
spinning
newspaper.
magic lanterns as well?
So true.
So yes, so, yeah.
I know that word.
You know big word.
I know that word.
But anyway, yeah, the magic lantern slideshows
You
are
went
things
to
that happen.
Oxford.
Not.
But it's it's
Oh,
the realm
Suddenly
of
mind-
the etchers and the
In
printmakers.
I presume in Dungeoneer Pack, I had pen and scroll and paper and paper. And
You can have scroll and
ink.
paper. I don't mind you having scroll and paper in.
It's fairly
Your
plentiful.
dad
This
gave
is
you
a
some.
sort
You
of-
could have
well, this
just
is also a
asked
fairly
Viderick on the way out
well-established
because
city.
Oh
I
yes,
have.
a well-established city. You know,
Yeah.
there'll be stuff lying around in the watch house.
Well,
that
I
you
was
can
going to
use.
say she could just ask Viderick on the way.
Yeah.
He could just ask Viderick on the way out because I have tons of this stuff.
Have you got a bit of paper that
Yes.
needs to be written?
Yeah.
Not only
No,
that,
not
you
that
gi-
one.
You
Yeah.
just give him a
Yeah,
conspiracy
this
theorist starter set with
Yeah.
complete with
Complete
pins and
with
Yeah,
string.
pins and red
Yeah.
string.
No,
yeah.
because
I
those
write my
are
name
those are incorrect conspiracies.
Conspiracy about the conspiracies.
On my
Excellent.
on my
You don't
on
understand
the drawing, I
how
put
deep
a
it
little
goes.
half into from
Oh,
Scrapper.
lovely. Yeah,
It's so
that's
cute.
lovely. So Scrapper signs the letter.
Terrible thing,
So,
but
yeah,
my
you can
cat
do.
signs all our cards.
She does. Because we're daft. So yes, you're.
Who is she?
She's probably off on the bed sleeping.
Cat, it's doing cat
She's
things.
doing cat
Catting.
things somewhere.
Sleeping.
Catting elsewhere. So yeah,
Cool.
you can successfully post your letter for a copper piece, no
Nice
problem.
one. And then
Uh,
I'll go to the market on the way back and then get some supplies and
Okay,
stuff.
yeah, that's fine. Who did you? Just so we know where everyone is. Who did you bet go with?
I don't mind who I go with, but if somebody has said they're going to go to the market specifically
Yeah,
for
I was-
supplies,
Yeah.
I was going for
will-
specific.
He's gone for
alchemical
alchemist. I've gone
supplies
for
and-
like,
eggs
just-
and bacon and bits.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
I was also doing a bit of rumour hunting amongst tinkerers and
probably
alchemists.
wouldn't be very helpful with that. So
See if
I
I can
would probably
just-
have gone with
Well,
my
just
heart.
see if I can hear anything on the grapevine about
Okay.
the steam hammer.
And you're doing your alternating, or have you gone out for the minute?
No, we're getting our
Trance on.
trances.
An early trance in.
You synchronise trances.
No,
Or
yeah.
desynchronise.
Desynchronize
Yeah.
our trances
Desynchronize
so
trances.
that
You can both
No,
watch.
we
you
can both
synchronise.
watch.
Yeah,
You synchronise, it's just your offset.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
offset. Yeah.
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 There
We
we go,
offset
Yeah.
our watches.
Sorry, I'll put
Yeah.
the pedant dictionary back.
On,
It's alright, I'm marrying that one. I'm fine.
Yeah. I can be.
on the way
Yes.
back from the post office, so I speak
Yes.
to a vet about that. I wanted to send a letter
Mm.
about about what I've seen. Do I want to find out more information of why we've not received things like supplies and stuff? That why it's taking so long, and
So you want to-
I want and also speak to the guy, the person who I trained with about the sword. That you know what I mean.
Oh, so you want to go to the main watch house?
Yeah, no, I want to send a letter to them.
you want to send a
I
letter
wanted
to- yeah.
to speak to them about what I've noticed whilst I've been here. That it's not.
Would you
What
stop
I
her if you
expected.
saw her?
Yeah, I think a vet would probably.
Well, that's why I want. That's
yeah.
why I want to speak to a vet before I sent the letter of what I was going to do and why
Well, you
I
can- if
have
you're
it to
together
see
at
if
the
there's a
market,
way.
You can certainly
Yeah,
do
so-
that. You can
yes.
chat about it as you're walking along. That's fine.
It'd definitely be like nobody likes a snitch, lad. Let's sort this out in company,
Yeah,
and then, if a little nudge in the right direction doesn't work, then maybe we have a quiet word with someone else.
because I also know.
Best not to put it in writing just yet.
I only also know
With your
'cause
name on it and your dog's name.
Yeah.
And
the reason
A smiley face.
Yeah.
the reason why I said that is because I also know that when I also remember that when we were doing the training stuff and I asked the sergeant about the sword at the end,
Yeah.
she was the one who shoved me away. So that's why I was
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
sending.
Well, you-
I was advised. That's why
Yeah.
I wanted to find out more
You've
what
definitely
she
got.
thought about the information before I sent it, just because of that reason.
She
Yeah,
is.
you've
Because
definitely
I'm more
got the
cautious for that.
you've definitely got the impression that you know Yvette was a soldier, so would be a person in situations like this where there's a hierarchy of command and stuff.
Yeah,
probably
that she
a
might know more
good
about
person
that.
to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm kind of young. I'm kind of youthful in that
Cool.
respect.
Yeah.
You wet behind the ears.
So, who's doing first? Because I'll let you roll with your stats for
with our stats
So,
will be the same, I
pretty
would
much the
imagine.
same. Yeah. So you can
I'll
roll a perception to
do-
start with.
Shiny for
Yeah. Well, roll me one at a time, and then we'll do roll me one, and we'll see what you see, and then we'll deal
Arkham
with.
go first
Ada.
whilst I'm trancing.
Okay.
Please forgive me as if I roll terribly.
It's all right.
Perception, so it's only 12.
Right, 12. What Art actually notices is the sound of something hitting the window.
As he looks out.
Yeah, he sees a bunch of urchins again. Well, you didn't see them last time, but if you'd seen the ones that were hassling Ivar. It's the same group of little urchins laughing and throwing stones at the window. Little, gravel, not anything that would break it.
I don't know if...
Do you think he would just close the curtains and go leave them to it? Like, just not rise to it?
It's fairly stoic.
He's quite stoic, because the only other thing I could think that he might do would be to pick up
missile snare and chuck it back.
Oh yeah, to do something like wait for the next one, missile snare. I don't think we can do that yet.
No.
But to maybe try and use his monk aim ability to like throw something at like a really difficult to hit object outside, so it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know, so I will actually just
and ignore it. Yeah.
Actually, I imagine there's probably some wooden shutters.
Yeah, it stops.
Open, shut, curtains.
It stops shortly after that. They lose interest and they're clearly not disturbing people, so they stop. So Ada, what is Ada doing at the Meerkat?
Okay, well, as I said, I'm going around the sort of more tinkery alchemical stalls, looking for just to replenish the bag.
Yeah, the bag. You can certainly do that. That's not a problem.
And so while I'm doing it, I'm sort of trying to lay out some feelers, sort of find out if any of the metalworkery type tinkerers have any sort of information about because they will presumably, for want of a better word, book time.
Yes.
For the for the steam hammer. So sort of see if they've heard anything.
Oh well, there's one in particular who is this dwarven.
I need a pencil.
This dwarven man who's been working on who you know vaguely has lots of sort of small items, some of which have little forge components in them, which don't get used on not produced by the steam hammer. Oh yeah, we've had terrible. Want to go and use any of their workshops or anything? You can hire time from them.
Oh,
there's none of that at the moment. None of that at all. At the moment, no, they won't let you in. Absolutely not. No.
Just nothing.
Just nothing at all.
Just
no, they won't let you in. Big security increase there briefly. I don't know why. They said it wouldn't last for long, but at the moment they're not letting anyone in. No.
Okay. It just seems to be the owners.
Those who work there all the time. Absolutely. Those who work there all
the
time. Hey.
Cool. Oh, steam hammer. Before I forget. Cool. Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Always
it's very unusual. It's
You
hitting us up.
start
It's very
swapping
noisy.
each other little doodads.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I made this. I'll swap you one of these for one of those.
To be fair,
I'll
swap you one of these.
He shows you this little clockwork device that he winds up, and he places a cigar on a little tray, and this thing automatically cuts the end and lights it, and then once it's lit, it automatically opens and opens to reveal a little ashtray. What do you think of that?
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
I bet you the religious people love you for that.
So this little clockwork device that.
I'll give him two
mental-gility.
Give him some sort of money for that.
Oh, you want to buy? You buy that. Okay.
So I figure Sergeant Angel is a smoking man.
Oh right, okay. Well, I'd have to.
Well, I have here this small clockwork bird.
Yeah. Okay.
Intricate clockwork bird. We know you dwarves are not particularly good with intricate mechanisms. Metalwork, yes.
What does it do?
It's a small clockwork bird. It flaps its wings and it flies around for it.
Fair toy. Would you be insulted if I sold it on my stall?
Oh, not at all.
Much as it is of interest to me.
Not at all.
I prefer the monetary
This is
value
just quite a simple exchange.
That's fair enough. No, that's a fair trade.
Cool.
Absolutely. And he will happily.
Cigar lighter and ashtray.
Sorry?
Work, cigar lighter.
So you do need fuel for it. It's got a little light.
Will not be a problem.
No. It runs off paraffin. Flame.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I mean,
No,
Yes.
they all still sounded evil.
Yeah, no.
I will watch your city burn.
Yeah.
and have a lovely cigar.
Yes.
I don't know how we can make that sound less evil.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh, I'd also like to buy a small sort of thermos flask.
Okay.
Tiffin tin.
Thermos flask.
You don't have any
Sort of
money.
traveller's flask,
Yeah,
not
you can have a
necessarily.
flask. Yeah,
sorry,
that's
not
fine, that's
necessarily
fine,
a
I think.
but
Do they have
something-
vacuum flasks in?
not
No.
not a vacuum flask. You know what I mean, though. But a sort of traveller's flask.
Yeah, no. That's fine. You can certainly do
You
that.
don't have any money.
What if it depends what you want? If you want something that's enamelled steel, that's going to be cheaper than something that's like made of stainless or tinned.
Oh,
You know.
yeah, it'd be enamelled. It'd be cheap. It's
Yeah, cheap.
literally just to carry
Yeah, so it's
tea
it's a silver,
around
silver,
on
silver
the
piece.
patrol.
Silver piece. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything else?
What do we need to get?
Suddenly Redford is
What do we
calling
need
the
to get on the
Germans.
market? Where do you want to go on the market?
9
Um,
Germans.
Maybe.
One Austrian.
Yeah. What
Where do you want to go?
what provisions are we looking for?
Just things like.
Biderick got eggs.
Mm. You have eaten all the eggs.
We've eaten all the eggs, alright.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
Bit
say
more
like.
Yeah, so
eggs.
it's
Do we need any?
it's 2 copper an egg. They're relatively
When
Do we need
get
any
that?
more-
in the middle
Do
of
we
the
need
city.
any
So I'm
more?
hearing at the end.
End of the week.
Do we
You've
need
got
any
another
more?
couple of days.
Couple of days to go.
Do we need any more tea or anything like that, or do you think we've
Tea
got some?
doesn't seem to be a
team,
problem.
yeah, team. will be
Tea, they
plentiful.
haven't
Do we got
Supply.
something other than porridge, like to get some bread and some like tomatoes and do like a bit of a
Tomatoes are getting expensive.
bit of a
Fresh
cooked
fruit.
breakfast?
Vegetables, sorry.
Fresh.
You know, something like
No,
that.
tomatoes are
Not
fruit.
let's say tomatoes,
I'm
just
intelligent,
beans
not
or
wise.
Oh
something.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Make a bit of a
My
breakfast.
only concern with getting lots of
Apples would be
things
easier. Apples would be cheaper.
is
I mean, just sort
we
of
might
separate
not
line.
be able to afford to get everything for Sergeant Angel.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, definitely can't. Definitely can't afford anything for Sergeant Angel. So we best not get too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we do it day by day, we've
I
got
am extremely interested as to just what you flick to in your notes then, Millie. What did it say?
20 gold and 8 silver.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm just thinking, because we've got
2 copper an egg.
Yeah, yeah,
we can
Eggs for days.
yeah.
I was gonna say we can do it so if we want to, then would it worth doing it day by day until we understand
yeah,
why we're
we
not
could
getting
do that.
supplies?
Yeah, we could make a little run.
if that'd be worth it.
Oh yeah, second watch.
24.
24.
I'm like on the roof.
And I will have a jam donut, please.
Like a bat.
I'll bring it to you with your.
I'm just wondering, like,
Can I
if
have,
it's.
can I have
you
a
got
red
your
book?
mug?
Specialty.
Can I have specialty?
I do.
I'm just wondering whether it's worth doing it
Lumos.
day by
Do
day
you like
then.
a hot drink, Millie?
No, thank you. I'm good.
Would you like one?
I'm okay, thank you.
It's like
As
a donut,
opposed
isn't it?
as opposed to
I
doing
would
it
like
all the
a
time,
donut, yeah.
if that's the case. Because it's only a 2 minute. It's not a far walk from the market to the watch, so it's not as if we can't do it, and we can just
No,
take it in turns.
You're noble.
I know, but yeah.
And you're a pleb, so you could do it.
Some nobles are quite happy to do things, you know.
What
Doesn't
did my
necessarily mean you'd have your lackey do everything. It just depends on the vet, obviously.
What did my monk eyes see?
Oh, sorry, your
The
monk eyes.
24.
24. You see. So you're specifically keeping a lookout on the yard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you see sort of Angel chatting to someone comes basically over the gate midway through the afternoon.
And I remember his face with a 24.
Yeah, yeah. By this point, the rest of the guys will be back in. You can remember his face.
Well, they
The
would.
rest of the guys will be
They'll
back
all
in.
be asleep.
They'd all be
Yeah.
asleep. Just saying where we are chronologically. And he starts chatting to Angel. You don't see a food delivery today, but the two of them seem fairly chummy. And Angel lights a pipe and has a chat with this bloke and shares a bit of tobacco with him. Through the glass and with the city going on around, you only catch snatches. They seem fairly chummy, and you get kind of this, oh, you've not cottoned on. and okay, don't you worry, I can handle a watch, and all this sort of thing. Sort of very cocksure. Seems like they're talking about dodgy dealings, but there's no details that you can really pick out from the conversation. With city life going on around and other sounds.
Can I
and
run
things.
down to Angel's office and toss it? No.
You can if you wish to. That's absolutely something you can do.
I won't. I'll still keep my eyes out
Mm.
and discuss what to do when Angel is out with my comrades before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Very well.
I mean, it's up to you.
So you guys finish your story.
Yeah,
That was just a little interjection of you being back in the watch house, but.
Let's buy some eggs and some bread.
Ah, the joys of an engaging RPG.
Yeah, let's buy some
Shopping
eggs.
in the market.
Some
No,
eggs
I
and
got
some
a,
bread.
I got a really cool
Do you
thing.
want
I like
anything
that.
other than
Yeah, it's
eggs
true,
and
yeah.
bread?
There's a bag
Do
of
we want
lemons.
Yeah, we
Want any,
each buy a lemon.
do we want any flavour? Is it got any like any bacon or anything?
No,
about
no.
it?
Eggs has
No,
been
it
good
is.
for generations. Why do we need new flavour?
God, I'd do
So
myself
bacon,
bacon.
you
I was
can't
gonna say is
bacon would be expensive.
Yvette is actually used to quail's eggs, but never mind.
No, you didn't.
I know,
Well,
but
eggs
coming
are
from
mine.
No, I'm
coming from the background I did when I was in yard.
Yeah, I
if
know
we're
my
really,
eggs.
if
Kobold
we're
eggs.
really good,
You'd have
my
some
dad
bacon
and I,
and
if my dad and I
speed.
did a good job, we get a treat or something, which will like be like a
Let's,
tomatoes and something called like a bacon sarnie from one of the guys. or something. It'd be a nice treat.
let's save the exciting addition of fresh fruit and cured meats
Ow!
until we have actually received payment from the watch.
that first paycheck.
Let's
So sweet.
How do you take your tea, Tom?
Black, please.
Leave the tea bag in.
And yeah, just let it steep. One of those two words.
Yeah.
The bomb was like strong
Um,
tea. It's annoying.
But we will come down.
Plenty of Yvette.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll find out how early.
Tea bag.
Avec sans des tea.
We'll find out how early this stall, the store sets up, and
How many eggs do you want to get? Just enough for all of us.
enough for everybody to have scrambled
Yeah.
eggs.
So yeah,
Do you want yours now or with your tea?
I'll have it with my tea. Thank you. I'll have it with tea. Tea and donuts, the special
Anyone else want
relationship at its
donuts?
very best.
I'm okay,
yes,
thank you.
Please. Stupid weasel.
Nah. All right.
Delicious
Don't do it every day. Don't do it every day is the key. I have to say Morrison's jam donuts are
Very
very
good.
very
Apple
Moorish.
donuts. That's king
Terrible.
tier. Sorry.
What's that? Sorry.
Apple donuts.
Oh,
that's
apple
king
donuts,
Apple
yeah, it's
donuts
true.
is king tier. Fight me otherwise.
Yes.
And custard can just
No.
Nobody
No.
can eat custard
Why
donuts.
does anyone have custard donuts?
I think
Okay.
Simon will fight you over that because he believes jam is king.
No,
And
no,
strawberry
no.
jam is king.
I personally believe that strawberry or raspberry jam are king, but apple is good.
Fight me.
Apple is good. Okay.
IRL.
Okay, I roll. No, this is how we do things, right?
Mwah.
What did you roll?
Yeah, you
That's
win.
like the fourth 8 I've rolled tonight.
I also rolled an 8.
Ah,
So
my,
we are both correct.
my dex is +3. I think you'll find I win.
Oh, well, okay. I
You're
don't know
God.
what my stats are. They're not
Yeah,
numerically.
you're God. You win.
Okay, cool.
I
good to
am
know.
a
Could you
star
just-
golem.
I'm a star golem all of a
So
sudden, yeah.
you just go. A dinosaur appears.
A dinosaur appears. We're suddenly in Chult. And no. So you successfully purchase. So who is paying for the eggs?
I will
The,
buy eggs.
Us. So
How many days do we think it is until payday?
you end of the week, so a couple of days.
Right. So I will purchase or leave behind the counter
Yeah.
enough eggs to get us to payday.
Okay. So you had
I got half
a dozen, so one each last time.
Yeah.
So
With a little
you
bit
got-
left over, I made more than.
Yeah. You need. So yeah, you've got a dozen to put away.
Right.
So
So I'm buying like
24 copper.
Yeah.
So 2 silver,
Oh, copper.
4 copper.
Is it anywhere on like?
Excellent.
Oh, you're gonna have to break a gold.
I am.
Is anywhere on the?
No, 2 silver, 4 copper.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to break a gold. I've got 8 silver.
Is there anywhere on the market that you can get like? I want to get something for Scrapper, like a, like
A bone?
no, a toy.
Oh,
They
An
don't
old
really make
bone.
dog toys.
dog toys, but you can get a
You
bone.
make your own dog toy.
Yeah.
Have a bit of rope.
Yeah, we've
You could speak
got
to your
loads of
tinkerer,
rope.
Yeah.
your friendly tinkerer.
I've got this truncheon I could chew on.
It's true. You could throw a truncheon for it to fetch. For its capital to fetch.
Yeah, true.
Nick one of
Nick Sergeant Angel.
No,
I
no.
presume rubber ducks
Nick
and that.
Viderick's Tom.
I was thinking like a.
The
I was
dog
thinking-
will...
I know the
dog will be fine.
Dog
Everybody
will be
else-
fine.
everybody
Everyone
I know
else
they
will
don't really do
die.
Yeah.
like squeaky toys, but I was wondering if like they like did rubber ducks or
Don't
anything.
really.
Rubber's
No.
expensive to come by.
Yeah, I was going to say rubber's not really a commodity, more of
A luxury.
a
I'd
luxury
yeah.
item. It's
There aren't that many
What are you
rubber
gonna
trees in this
No.
this bit of the world.
no rubber is not. You've heard of some people looking into synthetic.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It
It
doesn't
smells
work. Yeah,
really,
it's-
really
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. That's
Melts.
your
It's
opinion.
crap as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, when I get
wait,
back, I
more
ask.
ladylike and less crap.
No, I can imagine Ada talking like that about mechanical things, like inventions.
I get a bone. I've got
Massive
an
thing.
You
idea.
get a bone.
Giant bone.
So if you go to the, do you want to go to a stall selling meat then and see if you can get a bone?
Butcher,
Yeah.
one may call it.
Yeah. Selling meat. He's
Yeah,
not doesn't do his own
necessarily
butchering
the butcher.
necessarily, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
selling miscellaneous meat.
I need to get. Have you got? I want to get a bone for my dog.
All right. Oh, you're adorable. You want to make me a persuasion check because you might.
Does she get advantage for
Yeah,
having a
go
Well,
dog?
what I'm thinking is Scrapper is the actual one doing the persuading here.
Big doggy eyes.
What's the charisma of a mastiff?
No, the perception
we'll
is
use-
+3.
No.
No,
Perception?
Oh, no,
persuasion.
sorry,
Persuasion.
persuasion. Good.
No,
oh my
dogs. No, dogs
No.
have terrible charisma, which is totally inaccurate to life.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a
It's a
mastiff. They are
14
not
on the
adorable.
dice.
Okay, and maybe
All
not
dogs
to
are
your
adorable.
cold, evil DM's
No,
heart,
no.
Millie.
No. I'm in camp.
Hold
dogs are
on, I've got the
adorable,
stats
but
for
mastiffs
mastiff.
are not adorable.
Hold on. I've actually got the stats for mastiff here.
I think Tyranids are adorable, so.
You do.
Tyrannids.
There you go.
Mad.
As in gribbly,
Gribbly
waffles,
monsters
gribbly.
from
We sometimes
40k.
call Rosie
You say
Gribbly.
persuasion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's my
Yes.
tiny.
Oh my god, it's -2.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's inaccurate. I think
12.
some dogs can be quite charismatic, but yeah,
12.
that's quite good for
12.
a
He
doggo.
tosses
Yeah.
a bone
It's,
out. From
all
behind
you're
the counter.
asking for is a bone, not a.
Tosses a bone out from behind the counter. There you are. Chew on that.
Thank you. I
Oh.
give him a. I give him a. I give him a.
Oh,
I give him some. I give
give
him.
him a couple of copper.
Yeah.
Or a copper. Give him
Yeah.
a copper, not a couple
Yeah.
of copper. Give him a copper. Yeah, he's quite happy with that. I wouldn't expect you to pay, but
No, it's,
how much?
I know you do. I know you do now, so I can come back and get some
civvies?
like any scraps for him if needed.
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
I've got some. I've got some till last, but I want to get. I will get some more later on. But
Oh.
I'm waiting. I've got to wait for to get paid first before
Oh,
I can
right.
get any more for him. But I've got
Okay.
enough to let him know.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah. So there's a bit of meat on the bone as well, a little bit around the edges that Scrapper can get off. So
Make Scrapper happy.
yeah,
And I watch over them all as they sleep
of course
with
you
a
do.
24
So
perception.
you all return, yeah, and you see Angel
No, I was
doing
with me,
dodgy
yeah.
talking in the backyard, but don't see anything particularly.
No,
threatening.
I
You
make a note of
assume-
it.
You make an assumption that Angel probably sleeps part during the day, part during the night, because he seems to awake at various times. And you have walked in on him asleep before now,
Yeah.
so you think he probably just works a round the clock shift and sleeps
Whenever he needs to be awake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and your sleep, your long rest progresses without
To level
interruption
2.
To level 2. That will be coming. Don't worry.
Not Oblivion. You don't get to level up when you sleep.
Damn it!
By the way,
Bloody good game,
What?
though.
Yeah. I've got to reinstall it.
never mind. I was gonna say what happens to the side. I was gonna say what happens to the side of the house.
The side, the
What, the drain pipe?
Mm.
Oh, that's still not been
broken.
repaired.
He's not.
It's broken.
He's probably going to get the money for it and then not repair it. So I'm going to have to actually go outside.
Yeah.
I will once people are asleep and stuff. I will go out into the yard and
Yeah.
look it over, and
Yeah.
I might sorry, I might get Ada to look at this.
Okay.
She might be able to give me some advice.
Oh.
Sorry.
The houses, the residentials,
Yes.
they awake.
She wants snugs.
They look like they're.
Yeah, they're awake. They'll be. So when you come in from being out of the market, you see they're awake. You think the wife of the couple in the nearest one seems to be putting laundry out and other housey chory things. Presumably, husband's off at work probably by this time. If that's the case, that would be your best guess. From the amount, you think she probably takes in washing for other people as well.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
Look over.
Videric starts having a deep conversation with the station cat.
Yes.
Like, how outgoing is Ada?
Relatively outgoing. She's sociable.
Like, if I were to push Ada towards a human and ask her to interact with the human, would she be much better than Yvette?
If you go up to her and just shove her towards a human and go, interact, she
No,
might
I
find it
wouldn't.
difficult.
I
It's a
wouldn't
cat,
do
yes.
that. But
No,
I'm very
but
much aware.
Ada is a local and is a bit more accustomed to talking to the locals. She is fairly sociable. I sort of imagine she is admittedly played by me, who struggles to interact with humans on an actual basis.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just remember this woman's face and stuff.
And kill her while she's sleeping.
Yeah, invade her house, take all her gold.
No.
And her washing.
No, I don't want her washing. That's
She might
not
have
my
some
job.
nice
It's
stuff.
not all her washing.
I guess I said she might have some nice
okay,
stuff.
even better.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
takes in. Look, from the sheer amount, the sheer volume that's being hung out. It looks
She's
like
a
she
local
takes in-
washerwoman.
She takes in washing for other people.
That's probably not too bad for us.
No, she
In a
needs to
sort
know
of
it's
long
there.
term.
She's one of the only cats where you can leave a roast chicken on the side.
Cooling.
Eat it
She
all.
won't touch it.
We can go out of the house.
Could you finish making tea?
Oh,
And
yes,
I would
good
have my
idea.
donut if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'll have my donut if you don't mind.
Ah.
Nope. Failed. You failed pun roll.
Oh no! I don't get to make my own pun roll.
No. Make a charisma saving check.
That's a 12. That's fine.
That's a fail.
Oh.
DC 13.
DC 19.
No, it's DC. I was gonna say it's DC 19 pun check.
DC one more
So-
than whatever you rolled.
Yes.
So yeah, you wake up. Sorry, before you go to bed, because we've kind of jumbled
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
actions together here. Is there anything you want to do? So you're watching Washerwoman as you sit in bed about to go to sleep,
I'm going to ask Ada.
and everyone else is like, close the blackout curtains. We're gonna go to sleep.
Time for sleep.
I'm going to ask Ada about something to do.
What did you say?
Try to persuade Ada that Scrapper might be nicer to her if she maybe makes him something to play with.
Always been lovely to Scrapper.
It's
You
true.
try to ride him.
Yes, because it would be a battle mastiff, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, but Scrapper doesn't like
It's like
that.
flash of
Yeah.
fire
Yeah.
in Ada's
Scrapper
eye.
gets frightened easily.
It's okay. I'll be nice. I'll make him some adorable doggy armor, or speak to some dwarves that I
Oh,
know.
you need to build like a full howdah that you can sit in.
Yeah.
Like rather than it's like it's not just a saddle. You have this full covered howdah.
How about making him something to begin with, and
Thank
then
you.
we'll take it from there to see how
I
he
made him that
behaves.
clockwork
Do you
toy.
not mind if I do?
Where? That was the clockwork toy you sold to the monk.
No, I made another clockwork. I made a specific clockwork toy when I first met you. Let me just dig through my bag, see if it's still here. Rummage through bag, noise. Pull out clockwork toy. I love this ability of. This is just a gnome ability. This is what's
Yeah, just
fantastic.
once
It's
a
not even
day,
a
you make
tinker.
Do you
and
wind
rubbish.
up and put it on the floor and see if Scrapper
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
good?
Essentially, it's a small squirrel.
As opposed to those really big squirrels.
Yeah. Well, it's a small.
I know.
Clockwork
I know.
squirrel.
I know. Sorry.
Can I get into a persuasion check to see how Scrapper takes it?
I think it's just a toy. It's a dog. It's
Fine, Scrapper likes
Scrapper
you.
would like the toy.
Yeah, Scrapper
it's something
likes
to
you.
chase.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you all go?
Do your animal handling checks in
Yeah.
future when attaching howdah to dogs.
Be nice to
At
Scrapper.
level 5, I will have a tank.
Be nice to Scrapper, he might give you a
I'm
lift.
being nice to the dog. I've always been nice.
I
to the dog.
know.
He's
I'm just
adorable.
warning you.
I
Because
think
if
the
you
point
do
is
anything
just
to
being
upset
stressed.
him-
But at this point, Videric will know because they come back whilst I'm sleeping. So Art will probably tell them to go to bed.
Yes.
And also,
Because you've now only got...
And when Art swaps with you, he'll tell you about the food they brought back. So you can do the breakfast thing again if you wish to. And by breakfast, I mean dinner. Wait, no.
No breakfast.
It is breakfast for you guys.
I was like, before he goes to bed, Scrap nuzzles into him and says thank you.
Oh.
Dog can talk.
Right.
He nuzzles into you and goes,
Sausages.
oh.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Then goes straight
I
to
don't
sleep,
know, I think I'd
hopefully.
be scared because mastiffs are about the same height as gnomes.
Yeah, yeah.
So a dog that nuzzles into me, that's my height, that says russages,
Yeah, it's like,
that's sort of getting flight
glowing
responses.
red eyes. No,
But I watch what he does and tell you he's being
so
nice.
you all go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You all go to sleep, and you sleep through your sleep, and you get your full long rest.
And I
And the evening dawns.
mm-hmm. And I wake them up again with breakfast. And tea.
Mm-hmm. Breakfast and tea. So, does anyone else want to do anything before? Does anyone want to do anything
I
before
will
you go
inform
and
them
watch?
of the person I saw chatting to Angel and the snippets that I overheard,
That's not suspicious.
and how this is obviously deeply connected
Mm-hmm. Yep.
to
That's
a
not
million and
suspicious
one
at
other
all.
things. And then
Mainly you.
mostly me.
Mainly
And then
Derek.
I will ask Ada nicely if she would come and, before we go and watch, have a look at this drain pipe.
I'm not a builder, love.
No, but you know people.
I know dwarves and builders.
But it's not a building; it's a pipe.
Plumbing then.
Plumbing. It's closer to some of the people you know.
It's external drainage infrastructure.
I tinker. I don't make drainage systems. You'd be better off speaking to that lovely lad with a steam engine. He's more likely to know somebody who'll fix it.
You get along with him. You go ask him.
That was all I needed. It was a point in the right direction.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ada.
It's called acting, darling.
I was being facetious. Get over it.
So,
Oh, is Angel awake yet?
oh yeah, Angel comes upstairs a little bit. You all right in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to let you
Right.
know, sir.
Yeah.
I sent a letter home to my dad just to let him know. Just to let him
Yeah,
know
everybody
what happened.
stop.
Stop breathing.
No, I just sent him a letter to let him know how I'm getting on because I just wanted to let him know it's okay.
All right.
He might have sent one back, so I'm just let you know.
So you told him that you nearly died then?
No, I left that part out.
Oh, good.
I just told him that I'm enjoying it being up here,
Right.
and I'm glad he put me forward for it, and
Right.
it's a good experience.
It's definitely a man's life in
Good.
the watch.
Apart from that, that's all I said
Yeah.
really. It's quite a short letter,
All right.
and just a picture of where we are, which I drew.
Mm.
Not very good though, but my dad knows that.
All right. Good.
How was your day, night?
It all blurs into one,
Angel.
doesn't it? Sergeant.
Sergeant.
It was all right, truth be told. How was your rest?
So the market.
Yeah.
It's really nice. In the day with the people.
You'll be on day watch eventually.
Oh, good. You have to know anything about the
Okay.
steel mill. Is the steel mill going tonight as well?
You mean
else
the ironwork?
Yeah, can we still hear that tonight?
You still hear the odd thump. It's not as insistent as it was like the night before, but you hear the occasional sort of period of a few hammerings together. Well, no, it's a.
Sorry. Oh, we're talking a really heavy.
Oh, it's a big.
Really heavy metal.
It's a big.
And then we all form a
Well, you
band with Ozzy Osbourne. 'Cause
And then
of all
it's
of the
Bite the
influence
heads
of
off
the
bats.
the influence of all of that
Industrial.
industrial
The,
noise.
and then it'll stop for a bit, for like 10-20 minutes
Well,
or
maybe
so,
it's
and then it'll set off again on possibly doing another job. You don't know. But anyway, yeah. So that's still going on in the background.
Okay, cool.
So you head out on your watch, and the majority of it's quiet. You see again this little steam engine trundles down. It has a couple of
I will
wagons in tow this time. So they're
flag-
clearly trying it with a heavier load
I
on
will
there.
flag them down if they can stop.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I
Well,
will
they
jump
pulled.
up.
They pulled.
Because they've got a heavier load on, they might not want to.
No, they pull to a stop by the time you see them, they're kind of pulling to a stop on
Yeah.
the canal. It's as you head out, you see them pulling to a stop on the canal.
Seems to be about the time
Bang.
they deliver things. Are they just delivering lumps of?
They're delivering
Pig iron or-
pig iron's being transferred to the. So this is iron that's been smelted. So it's from a smelt works somewhere.
Okay,
That's
so-
being delivered into barges to be taken to some other part of the city or something like that
To be
processed
melted down and
melted,
turned
yeah.
into something. Yeah, to knives.
Yeah. Aye, this is the role play version of Sheffield. So yeah. Expect to see a Sean Bean character any minute now. You know.
Dying.
Oh, and he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
That's what they're doing. But you see them, and the everywhere seems to be fairly.
Hello
quiet.
there.
Oh, yes.
I believe
Well, you lot have been
Ada suggested that you two might possibly. How's your head, by the way?
Oh, mending well. Mending
I'm
well.
glad. You've not had any dizzy spells?
No.
Good. No raised temperature?
No.
Oh, I am
All
glad
fine.
to hear.
I have to say,
Ada said that you might be able to help me with a tiny, or know someone who could help me fix a drain pipe. Do you know who's the right people to talk to?
Drain pipe.
When, if a drain pipe.
No.
Right.
Would he know what a drain pipe is?
Yeah. It's fairly obvious what
You-
a drain pipe is.
want someone to fix a drain pipe.
I'm just wondering if you know someone who might.
Any builder in the city.
Builder, plumber. You don't. It's not something. No, it's not something I can fix myself.
Well, depends what's wrong with it.
I kind of
You're in the
sort of.
It came off the wall.
Exhibit A has a tag on it and everything.
I kind of sort of a bit ripped it off the wall.
Right. Well, you want to get a builder to have a look at it, see if you can
Okay.
reattach in the wall.
Do you know
It's
a
not-
good builder?
Reliable.
Reliable. Family member?
No, we don't. We're not civil engineers.
Member of the
Very
Masons?
uncivil.
Exactly. Yeah.
Masons Guild?
Back off.
Anyway, well, thank you anyway. I will.
Okay. Right.
Nice speaking to you. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what accent that was then.
If you could, could you ask around for us, just see if you.
I can probably find you a builder. If
Yeah,
you need
could
a
you
builder.
could you
I mean, it's
ask
not
could
my...
you ask around and let them know and
We'll
speak
leave
to you
that
tomorrow.
for another time when we've been.
Direct them to
paid.
Sergeant Angel.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Maybe,
You're all-
Every builder you
could you-
find.
You're all very strange,
we'd like
says the kid.
you- maybe in
You're
a
the
couple
one
of
driving
days
the
if you could
horseless
let us know.
carriage. The cool horseless carriage.
If we next time
We
we bump
can-
into you in a couple of days' time, could you inquire about how much it potentially be to get it to sort it out?
Look, we.
We're sourcing our building work at this poor guy.
No!
I don't.
We're not doing that to this poor man and his son.
Okay, just inquire. Find
No,
out.
it's fine. Good
I
day.
think at
We'll
that
s-
point,
I think you can
Yvette
find-
might
I
have found,
don't know because
found
I'm
like
out.
a twig
I don't
or
come
something
from the town,
and went,
It's fine. You're a country.
fetch. Ivor, your dog's gone.
Yeah.
That, just
Yeah.
like, chuck a stick. Ooh.
I think you'll find a builder yourselves. It won't be a problem for you.
It'll be fine. I was just. Is
you-
there like
It's
a?
not to meet that many builders. You'd be
Is there a
surprised.
Mason's Guild or somewhere you could point me in the direction of, or at all? No. Okay.
Look at the yellow paper.
Look. Look.
Sorry.
And then.
How does one go about finding
Jackson
a builder?
turns to you as you say about you're the one driving the horseless carriage, the cool horseless carriage. He sort of looks up at Richard, looks up at his dad, and sort of then looks at you and goes, "Well, if you like, we could unhook them."
Yes.
so he pulls the pin on the wagon and puts the pin. Right. So if you get up here, we'll show you. Where it
I
looks.
will leap onto the horseless carriage and be kidnapped.
So he says, "I'll steer."
We have a beat to walk. Shall we follow behind it?
Oh, we'll only go up and back again.
I'm going to inspect the area for crimes.
I
I don't want to feel like I'm not doing my job. So I'm going to roll a perception check as I wander around
Looking
the
for
area.
Yeah, yeah.
22. 23.
Yeah.
I am incredibly
It
looking
does
for
seem
crimes.
to be remarkably peaceful.
You spot 23 building infractions.
Does anyone else want to...
Cart parking problems.
Yeah.
Loose
Somebody
cobbles.
loitering.
Yeah, there's
Think it's
there are loose
fine.
cobbles. That is a problem, but it's not. That's an issue for the town to deal with. That's not.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah, it makes you
I know.
twitch anyway. So yeah, and Jackson sort of looks down at it. Does anyone else? We can fit a couple more people on the platform.
I
Have a ride.
take 2 steps backwards.
Oh, it's amazing! It's
So-
steam
I'll have
powered.
a
So
look. I'll have a look.
Like a
he'll,
dragon,
he
but
pulls
steam
he
powered.
pulls on this chain, and you
Dragons
there's this
are real.
sudden, There's this sudden loud blast from this whistle on top of it, and then he releases it.
I'm going to have to warn you not to do that. There are
No,
rules about
it's-
making a nuisance.
Oh,
Only at certain times of day.
We are way past the time of day.
so
This is the beginning of our watch. It's
Oh.
only 8.
yeah, it's not that late.
Okay,
You're
well,
right.
half
yeah,
8
yeah.
p.m.
But yeah,
Okay.
It's past
so
I'll
he-
have
11
to warn
o'clock,
you doing
isn't
that
it?
later.
He holds a tiller
You get arrested.
and he says,
10,
"So what
10.
you do is you pull that lever there, and then you do it all the way. That's it." And he sort of guides your hand to do it. And the controls are a bit hard to reach, but you can reach them.
Oh, I've had this done.
And then he points and you pull another, and this thing sort of jerks and rocks and and off you go down the street.
And then you're like me and you
and
drive
he's
it perfectly
steering.
first time.
Yeah,
All in.
I am very
nimble
happy.
check.
and then trundle back again.
Yeah.
Brit helps you bring it to a stop, and then you trundle back again, and he sort of steers it in, and he takes control of the last bit to back it back onto the wagons and lets you hop off.
Cool. I am very happy with these people.
Yes,
and
you like
never
these
want
people.
to arrest them. I'm going to be very upset when
Yes.
they turn out to be the big bad
Yes.
guys.
So yeah,
I
you,
will.
you're all so presumptuous.
Her heart
Really?
is so cold.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just don't like cool things. It's a steam engine. It's cool.
It's actually very hot. Very,
I
very
wouldn't-
hot.
Well,
Behave.
okay. Fair enough. It has to be hot because otherwise it won't work. But you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Yes.
Who's the pedant now? Anyway,
So anyway, moving
We're
How do
swiftly.
I-
born into the pedantry. I was raised by
Yeah.
it, molded by it.
Yeah.
how's it like tasting your
Witness the
own
full
medicine?
power of the pedantry. So anyway,
I
you
I will encourage Ada physically into
No.
proceeding.
So you the night wears on, the evening wears on, and you hear once they've unloaded, you can hear in the distance. You've walked
You hear
on
that.
at this point. You hear it disappear. You trundle off back up the hill, and you proceed as you are wont to do around your beat. And again, there doesn't seem to be particularly anything going on. There's a bit of raucous laughter from some of the pubs and things, and you sort of poke your head in to see what's going on, and you know, particularly in the nesting partridge, you get a nod of approval for poking your head in and seeing what's going on. And then, a
Oh,
little
did they come to collect the cards? No.
no, they've not come to collect cards. No, as the no,
So small.
A check in the drawer on the way
yeah,
out.
no, the cards are
They're
still there. You
So small.
works through to sort of the very early hours of the morning, so 1, 2 o'clock ish. You can hear in the distance, it's absolutely dead quiet in the city where you are. There's distant sounds of things going on, but it's dead quiet. The forges, the steam hammers no longer working, but you can hear in the distance. You make me perception checks. We'll see who hears what.
I got 8, so I'm looking for crimes. That's it.
Yeah.
Crimes.
So what did we get going, Ada?
God, I'm rolling that one. I'm
Okay.
just so enamoured by the
I
steam
got
engine.
2.
No, I'm wrangling Ada. That's
Yeah.
what it is, and you're
Thank
still
you.
trying to go
19.
back.
So
I want
Yvette,
no steam engine.
Yvette.
If it helps up, I got 10.
Okay, Yvette hears sort of very faintly in the distance a voice crying for help. You
Oh.
think, and there's also just very faintly the sound of perhaps water like splashing.
I point the monks in the general direction and say, I'll get there eventually. Somebody's crying for help underwater.
I need to help this person. It is my duty.
It is your destiny.
It is my destiny. And I immediately run towards whatever distressed individual. Come on, Scrapper. You're supposed to tell me about people falling in water. I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah,
the
that's
dog's
what
job.
dogs do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what dogs.
What was that? Timmy's trapped down the well. No. That's disgusting. And don't you ever...
Don't you ever talk to me like that again.
But no,
Yeah,
we will.
point the monks in the right direction and
Scrapper follow.
yeah.
Come on, Art.
And
Let's
then
go.
begin to try and
Yeah,
keep
to
up.
keep up.
Light monk.
As
and then
you-
touch
you
blue,
sort of-
blue
yeah,
safety
yeah,
paper
exactly,
and then
and
retreat
retire,
to safety
yeah.
safe position.
As
See
you
ya.
begin to approach the canal, which is where the sound is coming from,
Mhm.
you see right in the middle, out in the middle, someone floundering, splashing around. Oh, poor Tom.
That's okay.
Right.
I dive in.
Okay.
What?
She's
Then
not wearing
you-
armour, she's a monk. He
Yeah.
is not wearing armour, he is a monk.
Okay. So you dive in.
Yeah.
Make me
I'll kick off my boots and
kick
dive
off your
in.
boots and dive in. So make me an athletics check. I think we'll say.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's 14.
So you dive. So you swim out to them, no problem. And they sort of immediately
Grab onto me and
grab
start
onto
trying
you.
to drown
So
me.
we need to have a opposed strength check.
This is what happens when you've got drowners. 15.
Ooh. Yes, you managed to push them off and get them into a position where
Get
they're
them
not going
behind-
to, yeah,
back
get
to
behind
me.
them where you
Where I've got them and keeping them up. And
Not-
swim back.
Not choking them out.
yeah. Oh well, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit.
Stop! Wiggle it! Yes,
It-
fine!
Stop drowning!
It was one of the things we were always warned about kids at school when you're doing your life-saving courses was
Desperate.
they'll
moment.
try and drown you.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you want to pull this person to the bank.
Yep.
To the edge.
One-armed
rather.
swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Do
eventually
you want
catch
another
up.
athletics?
Yeah, we'll have another athletics.
Well,
to
To see how
it
long
takes.
it takes.
Yeah,
to
see how long
okay.
it takes.
10.
So by the
So-
time you get to the side, everyone's arrived.
Cool, so we help them out and
Yeah. Between you can pull them out of the canal, no problem. It's not the nicest of water.
I'm staying back. You can ask
we must
questions.
have a torch about because
Oh.
Ivor's
Pass me a flask of tea.
We have
Oh.
one. We have the hooded lantern.
yeah.
To
So
the drowning man, not
unhood
just
it,
the
not
second.
point it
So-
out.
I have
So-
10 torches.
It absolutely
Well, no,
just takes it and
we've got a hooded lantern
Brings it
because
I've got
Ivor
a
doesn't-
lantern.
Yeah, you've got
Ivor
the-
doesn't have
we
that
have a-
dark
you've got
vision.
a-
you got a bullseye.
Yeah,
bullseye
so
lantern.
lift it open
Yeah, yeah.
and scan the rest of the canal, make sure
There's
nothing,
you-
no one else is splashing about or floating face
Okay.
down.
You do see a body floating face down in the canal.
So, who is the body floating face down?
Don't ask them that question.
Hey, he jumped me from. Oh god! He jumped me from the shadows and tumbled off the bridge. And there's a further along. There is a bridge.
Yeah.
there.
As much as I don't like it, you can try and use I don't think there'll be any poles. or any-
I am already
You could
wet.
look. There are some barges
no, but
moored up. You
I
could
I
look.
am already wet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But
I
Okay.
can just.
Go and get.
I'm just saying. Do you want to note its position?
Yeah, I'll write it all down.
You're good at note taking.
And this
Oh,
this
yeah.
chap.
Yeah, but
Begin-
it.
I'll use my cartography skills to draw a map.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
exactly
This
where the
chap
body
begins
is.
to cough up water. Bit of canal water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Philip will take care of this one.
Welly boot
Can you
Yeah,
go
exactly,
get
yeah.
No,
the-
I'm going.
Condom. No.
Do I
Canal
don't guess I
fish.
don't have to roll for this one because it's
No, that's fine.
Unconscious.
It's recumbent. Yeah, it's fine. Well, yeah.
Do we?
Would I'll
you
do
want-
medicine.
check.
I'll do
Yes, I
medicine
say, do you
check
want-
on the
Do you want to do
dude.
it? Yeah.
On the dude. Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure.
You do it. You got.
Okay, I'll do a medicine check on the guy.
What is medicine? Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Yes.
That'd
That
probably
is
be alright,
an 8.
actually.
Ugh.
Eight, yeah.
Are you okay, Viderick?
yeah, I just wanted some. Sorry.
Oh, typical.
Would you like? Would you like me to look at them?
Yes, please.
I rolled a
He's
natural 20.
definitely a person.
I rolled a
And
natural
He's
20.
definitely alive. Unfortunately, I left my flask full of bleaches at home.
16.
16. He's in the early stages. He's got some water on the lungs. It's not. It is coming up.
Could
so-
someone maybe run? Do? I'm trying to think. What? Run and get a cart? No.
Aid is like, cart?
Steam.
Steam power.
Does it have to be horse-drawn, or could it
The
be
heat from the
propelled by
steam will
some?
keep him warm.
We need a blanket and
steam powered cart kick one.
No, it's.
You're not actually that far from the watch house here. You're already probably about
Oh, we might as well
500
take them
yards
back.
away.
We all
Carry.
presumably we have cloaks as part of our.
Yeah.
We got
yeah.
those weird looking.
Yeah, you got the
awful
waterproof, but
things.
you only carry those rolled on your belt when you're not
Yeah.
wearing them. So you could.
I would have
Oh.
ditched my belt and put it back.
Yeah.
In which case, so
That's not hard.
well,
to
I
do.
might ask one of the sort of more human-sized people to give the cloak up because it's here, have this cloak.
So
I've
the
won
chap-
like 3 foot of you.
You know, the chap who came out of the water coughing appears to be human. The one who was face down, possibly half elf.
Can we ask your name, sir?
It's Edwin.
Okay, what were you
Edwin
doing?
Taylor.
It's quite late out.
It is. I was just making my way home
From where?
from my place of work.
Which is
Well, I'm.
not being terribly forthcoming with information.
I'm a.
He's got in the early stages of hypothermia. It's good for us to get it. I don't know what that word means, but it's a word. He's very.
Well, it comes from the ancient Latanium.
Hi, Elvin.
Thank you.
I am a half elf, and I do speak Elven and Dwarven. Anyway,
you were saying your place of work. What is it?
Well, I'm a locksmith, and I was
It's
attending.
very late for a locksmith
No,
to be out.
I was attending someone who'd lost access to their property.
Now, so you don't have to lie to us. We
You
are
can
the
make
watch.
an insight check if you wish to.
is it just you don't trust anything that comes out of Simon's face?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm a locksmith. What, at 2 a.m?
Yeah, People lock themselves out of-
I know. 16.
Yeah, no, he's still in the
Okay,
trade.
cool.
Yeah.
And you say you got
Lord Haldane.
Lord
you know him?
Haldane. No,
Yeah,
not
you-
personally.
No, but you do know of him. He said that he needed assistance.
Helping Lord Haldane.
No, I think before we
Have
ask
you
any
seen
more
this gent
questions.
before?
What, Lord Haldane?
No, the one in the water face.
I've never
down
seen
there.
him in my
The one
life.
that's now led on the floor, yeah. Dragged out of the canal.
I'll slap. Is he dead, or can I possibly CPR?
There is a pulse, but it's very weak.
I will do CPR.
Okay.
25.
Wow. Very nice. So,
I am the centre of all
you
things.
stabilise him, and he coughs a bit and brings up some water and stuff, but he still doesn't fully come back to
Ivor,
consciousness.
you're going to have to carry this one.
We will
Okay.
We
take-
need to take them both to the watch. He needs to be
He
warmed
needs to
up,
warm,
and
yeah.
he needs some.
We'll have a chat. We'll have a chat and a cup of tea at the watch.
Oh,
How about
God.
that? And
Damn
we'll see if
canal,
we-
why couldn't it have been a river?
I put my cloak around him.
Oh, not that the river's much better, but
That's right.
I will carry.
How we do?
it flows
Unconscious.
faster.
Ivor's got.
Okay.
Psychologically
I mean, you can do it
feels
together
better.
if you want, but it'd be
The
like that.
water's
Oh,
I don't
feels
know.
what?
feels cleaner.
Let's get you back to the watch, love.
Are you able to walk?
I can walk. God.
Just keep
So
rubbing.
keep drinking,
Help this
keep
one, I'll
moving
get
and,
the other one.
and drink
You
your
get back
tea.
to the
Yeah,
watch house.
we'll help them.
So, you're going back to the watch house.
Hello,
what?
Hello, Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Angel.
Good evening.
Found a prospective drowner. And
How
victim.
interesting. And I think that is where we will leave it here for this evening.
Level.
Can I have the
Next session.
Can I have the
Next
locksmith's
session.
name? Sorry.
Sorry?
Can I have the locksmith's name?
The locksmith's name.
Edwin Taylor.
Edwin.
There we go, Edwin Taylor.
Level 2, level 1.